Alright, welcome everyone to the Recon versus Kvoth best of 7 show match. And the draft is already made, the maps are predetermined. Slight difference here. Instead of Giza, it's Oasis. Instead of Okuchichibu, it's Elfheim. But other than that, these are the maps, these are the gods that we'll be seeing. Then the first game will be Cronos versus Sukuyomi on Blue Lagoon. So, very similar drafts to what we saw in the Champions League right here. Cronos ace picked, Sukuyomi ace picked. These two are by far the most popular ace picks in the tournament, at least in the later stages. So it makes a lot of sense that that's what we're seeing. And yeah, Kvoth got a random Loki. I don't know what happened in the end there actually, why he didn't fight him, why he didn't pick a god. But it's a random Loki. It's the last pick. Both players have 8 gods to choose from, and they only have to play 7 maps. So the 8th god doesn't mean that much, but I'm a bit surprised. Like, Kvoth could have picked Hades, and Anatolia is here. So, you know, Hades up for grabs on Anatolia. Would think that Kvoth would like to see that, but maybe not. Maybe he's got other plans. Also, I saw the early Susano pick from Kvoth. I thought that was interesting. So he actually prefers Susano over Shinong, for example. That's really surprising, because we've seen China being prioritized really heavily. And we see the newer band from Recon in also. But Kvoth really likes his Japanese. So ace pick, Sukuyomi. Second pick, Susano. And then Recon actually going for the Amaterasu also. So I guess Recon doesn't want Kvoth to have all 3 Japanese. And the players are just getting ready. Recon has hosted the game. I don't know if they're gonna have a spectator delay on or not. I don't think it's necessary, but it's up to them. Up to the players. And by the way, the donator of the show match, $100 is on the line. It's a Taiwanese player. Tag something. I don't think he was asking to have his name out there necessarily, but yeah. A kind Taiwanese player has donated for this show match. Obviously, Recon also plays for Tag, which is a Taiwanese team. So, I guess I know who he's rooting for. There'll be a 3-minute delay. So, yeah, 3 minutes and then we'll get started. Approximately 3 minutes and then we'll get started. No TN timer? No, I don't have a timer. Sorry. This is not the podcast. Then I have to do without a timer. Actually, I do have a timer, but noob streamer. Shut up! I do have... Urash did give me a timer back in the day. Just haven't set it up here. Yeah, Cronos versus Sukuyomi on Blue Lagoon. Interesting matchup, and I'm particularly interested in seeing how Kvoth is gonna approach this, because Recon, 99% guaranteed, he's gonna go for a 3-minute advance, and it's up to Kvoth to sort of find a way to defend that. I think we saw Miko's pretty much the answer to the crush. You need at least 2 of these out, at least, and oftentimes 3, 4. It's also really good to have. So yeah, once you have them out, the thing is you can actually take down the Prometheans with the Mikos, and you get to heal everything back up. So it's really difficult to actually deal damage to the Japanese player when they're getting those Mikos out. Obviously, once the Thermas come in, it's a bit of a different story. Thermas are good against the Mikos because they only have 55 HP. So they can be targeted down rather quickly. But you obviously need a mass of like 3, 4 or something like that before you can seriously get started. No camera? No, no camera. Alright, 2 minutes and we can get started. There will be a cat. Don't worry, there'll be a cat, okay? I'm a cat streamer now. Cat cam, let's go. So, who do you think, guys? Who do you think is gonna win this whole thing? Recon or Kvoth? I think these two have played a lot of show matches, and that's what Kvoth told me anyways, is that Kvoth won most, if not all of them. So it does seem like Kvoth has got the advantage, in at least compared to prior engagements between these two. And yeah, Kvoth seems to be in his element. Recon didn't look like his... it didn't look like he was playing on top of his game in the last tournament in the Champions League. So definitely should be interesting. I think when both of these players are at the top, probably Recon slightly higher top level. But like I said, I don't think Recon has played enough to be quite at his top level. Ariel says Recon, Walkrool says Kvoth. It's an early Gaia pick from Kvoth. Really early. Before Ra and Oranos. Before Poseidon. I guess, like, once you sort of get past those initial 6 S-tier gods, it all comes down to preference, who you go for after that. People ask me who are the best gods currently, and I say China, Cronos, Sukuyomi, and Isis. And I guess Kvoth is adding in Susano to his preferences. I think that's the big surprise here, if there is anything. But whatever comes after those 6 gods, that's where I think it doesn't matter too much. Oops. Alright, welcome everyone to the first game of the series. It's Recon playing as... Whoa, what's happening here? I've seen Boyd complain about this. Hopefully it'll be fine now. Recon playing as Cronos and it's Kvoth playing as Sukuyomi. And obviously, this side of the map is what we're mostly interested in, because this is where the action is going to be happening early on. And we see a gold mine like this. It looks fairly well for Kvoth. It's certainly not awful. Like if you had a gold mine here, that would be really bad. But this one with a forest nearby should be easy to build a temple here, some houses, some extra production, maybe even a wall, and then protect his gold mine here. And he's also done a good job with his wood chopper in the back here. So instead of placing everything over here, or even his wood production up here with his food, he sort of spreads out his resources. Gold on the right side, food on the left, and then wood on top. And this just makes it hard for Recon to deal damage once his classical age comes in. And Kvoth also being a bit of a nuisance with the Kitsune here. We see the damage is rather minuscule. Not quite enough to actually take these things down, I think, but maybe it is. Nah, it's not, because 45 seconds from now, Valor will be in. So it's honestly, it's just being a bit of a nuisance with this Kitsune in the beginning, nothing more. And it is the 3-minute advance coming in from Recon, as expected. What does Recon see here? Let's see. So obviously this Oracle not really able to be utilized because of the Kitsune, so he has to rely on the Oracle over here. Which is kind of perfect, because he sees the gold mine, he sees the temple built by now. But he's also getting attacked by the Miko. Decides against using Deconstruct on the temple just yet. Maybe he wants to save it for a production building, or maybe he wants to save it for if New Moon is used on the temple, because that's really brutal if you can actually do that. But back to Kvoth's point of view, I think this is the most interesting. Wait, Recon is so late. 3:14? He had 14 seconds of idle time as Cronos, with one of the easiest build orders in the game. Whatever. Hopefully. Wait, actually, he's not even going for the gold mine either. 3:30 advance in from Kvoth, and only one Miko. I said Mikos are essential, but he's just sitting on one Miko, nothing more. Recon just taking the round here. Really thick job from Kvoth. He pulled the giraffes into the TC. I think with the Kitsune, so that it's impossible for Kvoth to actually take Kvoth off of the food source. And Kvoth is doing really, really well so far. Deconstruct yet to be used. One Catapultes hero is in for Recon here. Interesting choice. Not going for the initial Terma, but rather wants this guy out. Guess he's just so much better for taking down the initial Jorukumo than the Terma is. This could be really good for Kvoth. At least some damage being dealt. But nah, the Catapultes hero is going down. It's a huge loss for Kvoth, and he's losing the Prometheans also. Slowly starting to get some Termas made, I suppose. Let's see from Recon point of view. More Catapultes heroes, interesting. This Jorukumo has done such a good job for Kvoth. Stayed alive throughout all of this and now being healed back up. I don't think Kvoth has lost a unit yet. Nope, still hasn't lost a unit. This is a really good defense from Kvoth. Really utilizing the healing from the Miko here. Got that upgrade in as well. And it's just Terma and Catapultes in from Recon. And there's the Onimusha. This is a huge unit right now. It counters everything that Recon can make. He's got Termas, Catapultes, Prometheans, and the Onimusha is a hard counter to all of that. Obviously, the Carabalsa will counter the Onimusha. But it also means that Recon has to sort of retreat now. And Recon is not getting a town center anytime soon. Oftentimes you want to do the rush with Cronos, but then you want to fall back and do a 2 TC boom. But Recon is not there at all yet. Deconstruct used on the dojo now. Swampland also used. A lot of heroes on the side for Recon, so he's not going to lose that many units here, I think. The Carabalsa goes down to the Naginata Riders, and Recon has to retreat. The Onimusha stays alive, barely even taking any damage here. And there's no Carabalsa coming out from Recon. This is looking mighty fine for Kvoth. 24 to 18 villagers is a bit concerning for Kvoth. I don't know if he's had some idle time. Potentially. This is what happens when you're on the defense from that early on. oftentimes you're gonna have some idle time that you didn't want to. Also look at Recon. He's only got one citizen hero. One single citizen hero because he's been heroizing his catapultes. He's invested into a new Kyra Ballista, and it's gonna be able to take down this Onimusha. Ooh, just gotta micro that Kyra Ballista though. Unfortunate for Recon. I think 2 extra shots from the Kyra Ballista were just misplaced there, and it meant that this Onimusha stayed alive. And this is just one Miko that is being so strong for Kvoth here. And yeah, we'll see. The Economic Guild is in for Recon. He's making his retreat now, and we've seen plenty of games where the Cronos rush has been defended, and the Cronos player just says, alright, it's fine. I'm going to retreat back, and I'm going to rely on my good Atlantean Prometheus economy. So that's still an option for Recon here, but Kvoth is looking really good. Still got his new moon available. Got a really good raiding group here, 5 Naginata Riders and a Kitsune. And then he just uses these 2 units for defense, and, you know, Kvoth, if he can go heroic from here, that's going to put him in such a good spot. But a bit of a risky play, if you ask me. Going for the elephants and the gazelles up here could potentially give Recon a really good raid in this game. Recon doesn't know about it though. And for now, I guess he's just preoccupied defending himself against these Naginata Riders. Almost lost the citizen there, but Valor is available, and that's going to be really nice for Recon. No Theft of Fire in just yet. He's going to get it when he's got more citizen heroes, I suppose. For now, only got 3. And Valor costs 8. So we may not even see Theft of Fire in from Recon, to be honest. Given the fact that he's only got 2 oracles, Valor costs 8 to recast. He's only got 3 citizen heroes. I honestly don't think we're going to see Theft of Fire. That's really bad for Recon. It's sort of the economic boost that you can rely on if your rush fails. It's not going to be much of an option for Recon here. Or citizen heroes, but if he's got 2 oracles, he cannot keep recasting Valor here. There's absolutely no way. And he still doesn't have Theft of Fire, which costs him 12 favor. But at least for Recon, he's up in score. He's it's not that bad what's happened to him so far, but what's really bad for him is the fact that he's against Sukuyomi. Still with New Moon available and approaching Heroic Age ever so slightly. There's a guy on ladder called Husksobe. He played Sukuyomi and he had a 24-game win streak. And he was like 150 points above the next person on ladder. Just abusing this god because he's so strong. And it's all about that Heroic Age timing when you're playing Sukuyomi. You can make things happen other ages, yes, sure. But the big power spike that you're playing for is the Heroic Age power spike. Hachiman queued up now. Actually is being researched from Kvoth. Obviously playing as Sukuyomi, you're getting even faster Heroic Age than you do with other gods because of your innate bonus. You see some nice aggression here from Recon. Probably senses that Kvoth is going Heroic Age here. He knows that's what you want to do as Sukuyomi. And as such, he's deciding it's time to go aggressive. See if you can punish the Sukuyomi player as he's going Heroic Age, rather than just allowing him to do so for free. Getting some good trades in here. Catapulti is doing a good job versus horses, of course. There are 3 Kyra Ballistas to take care of the slow infantry units here. That'll be enough for sure. Surely we're gonna see a samurai death here, surely. No. No, we're not. Oh, are we? Yes, we finally see an infantry unit going down. But that's coinciding with Kvoth hitting that Heroic Age, and we'll see how many armory upgrades does he have. He's missing that last one. Deconstruct is up and available, so I think what Recon is thinking to himself here is, if he can keep vision of the armory, he can use Deconstruct on it as it's being used, as a new moon is being used. And that totally negates the new moon. Is that a play that he's considering at all? I guess not. One thing he could do, take a Kyrie Ballast. Ooh, he doesn't know where the armory is. He doesn't know where it is. But if you have vision of the armory, definitely something you gotta do. New Moon now used on the armory, as is Shogun used on the Daimyo, and Kvoth is taking the fight. Not a lot of units here, but the Shogun is here and the Tengu are here, but actually Kvoth was to retreat. Bit too early there. Deconstruct on a tower here, really, really weird. But I guess Kvoth doesn't have access to any gold with this Recon army here. Long range Kyrie Ballistus covering it. We're gonna see Kvoth making a move for another gold mine, won't we? Ooh. Good little kill on Miko. Recon making a game of this. This is the power spike for Sukuyomi, by the way. And Kvoth is just unable to use it. Ooh. I mean, there's still 714 gold remaining in this gold mine. Now Kvoth is going for it with 8 villagers. He'll get there eventually with the new moon in and with more than halfway there for Bushido tier 3. There is so much innate value in the Sukuyomi kit here that Kvoth has got access to. I think Recon is just settled. I was gonna say he's just settled himself on spamming units in Classical Age, but it does kind of look like maybe he wants to go for Hyperion for that Chaos. To maybe help on the second gold mine, which will inevitably be a fight. Hyperion is queued up. He's making Thermus against the Horse Archers as well. It's an interesting choice. And Tengu is such a good choice here for Kvoth. He's only got a single Miko. He lost one earlier, and wait, he's got 2 Mikos, but one of them is being used for healing. And yeah, losing those Mikos was, at least that's one. Is really bad here, because if you can get more favor in, that means you can get more Tengu in. And these only cost wood. And when you're being gold starved, it's so nice being able to make Tengu. Hyperion is coming in for Recon. Mostly Horse Archers and some Naginata Riders for Kvoth. The Horse Archers cost 45 gold, 75 wood. So when you're being gold starved, oftentimes you will rely on Horse Riders rather than Naginata Riders, simply because they're cheaper in terms of gold. And with this army here, with 17 Thermus, usually 17 Thermus is not a good thing to have. But I guess Recon knows that he's against a lot of Horse Archers, and thus he'll have a... And he is gonna get some value in with these Thermus for sure. Now, no more gold left for Kvoth. Let's actually see this from Recon perspective. There's 1, 2, 3 gold mines available for Kvoth to go to. Recon has no clue where the army is, where the villagers are heading. But he's got his army right here, in between the 2 gold mines here, ready to go. Hyperion now also in. Can potentially use it here. Potentially not a bad Chaos. It's like 8 kills. The thing is, when you use Chaos on fewer units, it's gonna last for a lot longer. I think if you use it here, it would last for like 7 seconds or so. And taking down 8 Naginata Riders when Kvoth has so few units, I think would have made a huge difference. Like, imagine that. His army would now be 14 Horse Archers and a single Naginata Rider. I kind of think that was a missed opportunity, but I may be wrong. Obviously, it is really nice having Chaos available for the big fight coming in here. Let's see it. How many Tengu are there? 3. Gotta get those focused down by the heroes. Such a hard fight here to take for Recon. 15 Thermus, but they cannot get to the Horse Archers. And now, Chaos is used on the Horse Archers. This isn't a great Chaos by any means. Nope. I really think Recon missed an opportunity there on the initial Naginata Riders, but he's still in it. He's still got a big army. 2 Tengus remaining, but a lot of heroes on the side of Recon. He's got 4 remaining, also 2 Satyrs, which are great against myth units. Really good micro from Kvoth going on top of the Kyrie Ballister there. No more Tengus left, and the Shogun is being targeted down. But the Horse Riders are remaining. And the infantry numbers for Recon are really dwindling. How many has he got now? Like 6? Wait, actually like 11 in total. Recon is looking alright here. Good Terma micro, but the Horse Archers kind of beating the Terma, which is crazy. These things deal so much damage with all those upgrades to their name. Shogun is down. That also means no more Samurais, and that means that the counter units that Recon are making, relying on here, the Termas, the Catapulties, are going to have a much easier time. Without the Samurai, without the Shogun there to soak up all the damage, it should work out a lot better. But obviously, no more Termas now, so kind of unfortunate for Recon. He's got 5 Oracles. Probably would be really sick to have a lot more now. He's getting the Sons of the Sun upgrade, so he knows that Favor is a big benefit to him right now. But I don't know. I think he could afford at least 3 extra Oracles now. The thing is, without a Shogun and without many Tengus as well, I think those Satyrs are very likely to get a lot of value in. But there's just one lone Satyr right here, without the upgrade as well. More Termas coming in for Recon. He really does rely on them against the Horse Archers. And right now, it is seemingly working out really well. He is certainly happy to have these units in his army. So hard to counter to micro. 15 range for the Yumi Horse Archers and 16 for the Terma. So they have 1 extra range, but the extra firing speed of the Horse Archers, 1 versus 1.8, means that the Horse Archer is a lot easier to micro than the Termas. Score is exactly the same, and both players really just poking here. The Termas are such a good unit here. I love this from Recon. So rare that you see Termas being utilized in the Heroic Age and onwards, but it's doing so well here. One Tengu doing a lot here, Tengu Master. I don't know if Kvoth has the Ivory Netsuka upgrade. Cannot see that when you right click, unfortunately. Look at this. It's so difficult to micro the Termas compared to how easy it is to micro the Horse Archers. I think Recon really needs Satyrs in. That's the one unit that he needs. Kvoth also doing a tremendous job with the Mikos in the background here. He's got 3 on this location. Just continually healing up units, even doing the Tengu here. Perfect job. It's looking like Kvoth is slowly pulling ahead here now. Also halfway to Bushido tier 4. That's a huge advantage for Kvoth if he can ever get there. But yeah, the Mikos up front here for Kvoth. When you're having a back and forth on one single location like this, the Mikos are just doing so much. And he has pulled through this area now. Military well ahead for Kvoth, but I hadn't even looked at this. 96 versus 57 in favor for Recon. So Recon's economy is just infinitely better than Kvoth's. But does it matter? Does it matter one bit? That is the question. Obviously he's got himself a second TC somewhere along the line. I'm also interested in seeing, has he got... Nope. He did decide against doing the Theft of Fire. So, with that in mind, you know, there was like 3 or 4 citizens that got valorized at a really high cost. That extra favor could have been used on Satyrs earlier on. Whew. These Tengu Masters are so strong. And there's no survival equipment in for Recon. Nope, there's not. So the Tengu Masters jumping in with that extra attack, they can really melt ordinary citizens like this. And yeah, Recon realizes he's maybe got the economic lead, but he's surely down in military. He's just putting his foot off of the pedal, saying, can we just slow down for a bit? Maybe allow Recon to get back to full population, maybe get an implode in, something. Meanwhile, Kvoth is establishing a castle, probably looking to go Mythic Age. We've seen how strong that is when you get the Sacred Gate, and then you can reuse New Moon. a second time for free. You can get a new Shogun in, new Swampland, plus you get access to the Onmoraki. It's a really high value Mythic Age when you get that. And Kvoth is getting awfully close to it already now. He's there. So sick. And Recon, on the other hand, still kind of just establishing himself. He's building a palace now, probably looking to implode. But he's gonna be behind of Kvoth by quite a bit. Not only will he be starting the research for Mythic Age later, it's also gonna be slower because he doesn't have that Sukuyomi bonus of advancing, what is it, 36 seconds faster in Mythic Age, I think it is. So it's quite significant here for Kvoth. Even getting fortified TC here in Recon. Double castle in. Does not want the deconstruct to sort of get overwhelmed by units here. This gold mine is nearly depleted, so getting the double castle over on this gold mine is very smart from Kvoth. Also has a gold mine here, of course, and 8 Mikos out on the field. 2 of them are healers, but 6 are collecting favor for Kvoth. And that's so sick because Kvoth is going to use Sacred Gate, and that means that the next new moon after the Sacred Gate is going to cost 100 favor, and he'll be able to get there very, very easily. Of course, there's a 3-minute cooldown once you use it that second time, but even then, just wait 3 minutes, knowing he can use New Moon on the castle or on the TC. It's going to be really, really strong. That's Sacred Gate and New Moon on the armory. New Shogun is in with Mythic Age. You know, a hero in the Mythic Age has a lot of HP. Plus, they have all the army upgrades in the game. 57% armor, 75% pierce armor. This unit is gonna be so hard to take down for Recon. And it's sick. We also get the flaming weapons, so the horse archers can contribute in taking down buildings, as we see here. 8 Cantarius heroes here. Swampland is gonna be so sick here, right there, surely. Helens still with 900 HP remaining, so good timing from Recon. Helens will be able to contribute insofar as there's a fight here, but probably not. The wizards are coming in for Kvoth. These things are so OP. Kvoth knows it. He abuses this unit better than anyone I've seen. DC gone down. 3 citizens gone down. There's farms on this area as well. John Atlas is about to hit in for Recon, so we might be able to see that. If Recon can force a Swampland into an implode, maybe that could be a really good turn of events for him, but it's looking rough now. These 3 wizards are dealing so much damage, and this is probably where Recon is going Mythic, isn't it? Yep. So, dude, if there's no way it's going to be stopped, is there? No. So close. That was less than a second. If Kvoth had actually just been a slightly bit faster, he could have stopped it. But John Atlas is in. All the units are being soaked into the implode, and they're so low HP. Meanwhile, Recon doing a good job of sort of being ready to catch the units as they're getting out. He needs to get away from this swampland. Ooh, that Tengu Master. Really beautiful implode here from Recon. 92 versus 70. So, you know, Recon is kind of in this game, at least if you look up here on these stats, but oh my god, I've played Atlantean versus Kvoth Japan late game, and it's not fun at all. Kvoth makes this look so brutal for Atlantean to play against. We'll see here, 3 on Moraki with the Plaguebringer upgrade. Still making wizards and horse archers in the back. So it's horse archers, wizards, scavengers, and a few Naginata riders. And a lot of wretches. Lots of wretches. 7 Mikos collecting favor for Kvoth. Hasn't actually gone for that third new moon, instead opting for the Plaguebringer on Morakis. And we did see them getting a lot of value in that small bit of skirmish we had right there. Recon preparing himself for a new fight. Obviously Bushido tier 4 is in now for Kvoth. So all the value in the world. New moon, free armory upgrades. Bushido, free line upgrades. And it just means that Kvoth is floating in resources here. And with a single wizard, plus the... what is this called? The Burning Pitch Horse Soldiers, he's actually able to take down the TC. And so long as you keep these guys alive, they're just gonna continue to throw these wretches at Recon. And they're so annoying to have to deal with. Four wizards in for Kvoth. This TC is not gonna go up. Citizens killed, TC destroyed. There's Arcus heroes in the back here, but they are gonna go down to the horse archers and the wizards. May be able to take down one Plaguebringer on Moraki, but that's it. Kvoth takes it. Really cool game number 1 here. Nice defense from Kvoth. Also, nice attempt from Recon to get back in this game. There was a nice back and forth over on this location. And during it, Recon was able to get almost a double villager advantage. But then, the moment that Kvoth started to win militarily, everything just started to fall for Recon, it seemed. Once you fall behind versus Japan, especially Sukuyomi, it's so hard to get back into it. But yeah, well played to Kvoth. And Plaguebringer on Moraki, wizards, horse archers, very hard to deal with. Actually just had a box split. Hopefully, well, it's a good time to have it, right? At the end of the game. So next matchup is going to be Poseidon versus Oranos. And Giza is a placeholder map. It is actually Oasis. Giza is Oasis. Also welcome to YouTube. Nice to see you too. Looks like the boys are getting started, so 3 minutes we'll be able to jump into the next game. That gives me an opportunity to get some water, so be right back. Alright, I'm back. Also updating the score. $40 and we can get started. The next game in the series. Why is there a dice icon on the Loki portrait? Good question. Kvoth was slow to pick his last god, so yeah, it just became randomized, and he got Loki. Okay, we're back. This time we've got Kvoth as Oranos, as his... Sometime, I think he said he was like an Oranos main, if he had to say anything in that interview with Boyd. Do I recall correctly? I don't even know if he did an interview, maybe he didn't. I think I saw him saying somewhere that maybe he was an Oranos main, if anything. Or Gaia. Gaia or Oranos, who knows. He's playing versus Recon, Poseidon. What was it? Recon won with Poseidon versus... Rebel in the Champions League tournament. That was a sick win. So we know that Recon has a really, really good Poseidon. And that just makes this matchup really interesting. Should be a very, very good one. Ragnarox says, thoughts on John Cena last match tomorrow? I barely know who he is. I barely even know who he is. So my thoughts are indifferent. So Poseidon versus Oranos on Oasis. Interesting to look at the town centers. Sometimes you'll find some amazing second town centers. Other times they'll be kind of crappy. I think this is the latter of the two options right here. Like the third TC for both players, kind of impossible to get to. Actually, for Kvoth, if you can get a sky passage down here and then grab this TC with Hunt in the back, Gold in the back, that could be really, really sick. But for Recon, this TC is not an option. You cannot go for it. It's too far away. And then this one, there's some berries and a gold mine nearby it, so it's all right. But all in all, TCs will be hard to get to. Will be interesting to see if Kvoth at any point decides to establish a sky passage right here. I think that could be really, really good. But early temple in from Recon. It's not going to be the 308 advance that I've seen some people do. Do like that. Should I have the scoreboard on as well, actually? Let's do it. Well, good, right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, what are we seeing here from Kvoth? Early defensive manor and temple just to defend against the Atalanta and Centaur attack that is very likely to come in from Recon. No sky passages just yet, no economic guild, but he has made himself one Oracle hero, and he's got himself the Shinong's Ochre Whip, which is a really sick late game technology or a relic to have, but doesn't do anything for the early game at all. Actually deciding to keep the Oracle hero here simply to defend against the Centaur and the Atalanta is kind of interesting. Tip of Fingernails is not a bad relic, so he could go grab that, but... Oh, wait. I think I know. No. Oh, he's just starting to use it defensively. Typical Kvoth play. Just saying, if he can hold his position here, if he can not get overwhelmed early on by the Centaur, by the Theseus and the Atalanta, he'll be just fine. He knows he's getting Caladria out as well, so he'll be able to heal these units back up. So even though this Oracle hero, on paper, kind of a trash unit, once you combine it with the Caladria in the early skirmishes, it's actually kind of good. Pacify on top of the Centaur. I don't think it's enough for the Oracle to catch on to it, but it's going to be a bit annoying for Recon anyways. Only a Theseus shown itself from Recon. Atalanta coming in now as well. When you're playing versus Poseidon, you pretty much always get aggressed on early, no matter what. But the big issue is when you're defending against it, you need to figure out, alright, am I against pure classical age aggression, or am I against a 2 TC boom, or am I against like a fast heroic or semi-fast heroic? There's a lot that the Poseidon player can do, and it's a big psychological game. Especially when you're having to defend yourself, it can be really, really hard. So far, Recon has done a really good job here. Forcing a lot of idle time and forcing Kvoth to go on to the goats as well. It's not good, because you want these to fatten, right? And another reason why this is really good for Recon is because he hasn't invested into the horses by the looks of things. He is going for a second TC. It's the not so great one. Goldmine here, berries in the back. It's alright, like I said. It's not too bad, but it's not perfect. So Kvoth has no clue about it. His oracles are stationed here, here, and here. Yep. But on the same side of things, you can say Recon hasn't showed. There's no stable. Kvoth did scout with the Caladria here. There's no stable scouted. There's no horses shown themselves. So Kvoth probably knows that it's probably a 2 TC boom from Recon. But like I said, it's such a hard thing to figure out. Because it could also be fast heroic. Could also be, hey, a village center. It could be anything. Now he's seeing a stable. It's 6 minutes in. It's a bit late to build a stable, right? We'll see this from Kvoth's perspective. Will be interesting to see. Now he sees that second TC up. And what does he decide to do then? He is getting pickaxe right now. Could maybe even stop this. Just try to get the resources for a second TC ASAP. But it's not what he's doing. Seems like he's continuing producing units. Making Mamillos. Getting his eco-techs. And he's going to try to go aggressive on this gold mine. That's an interesting play. Because this is totally unprotected. There's a tower here, which is really nice, but if you can just force out the tower upgrade from Kvoth, even that would be a nice win. And the Mamillos here, with the hero in the mix, plus the Caladria, are very annoying and disruptive for Recon. Maybe Atalanta, really well microed Atalanta, can actually get a spear on top of this Caladria. Probably have to look for that because, oh my god. As it stands, the way that this skirmish is going, it's a big advantage for Kvoth. Because he's just going to heal everything back up. Whereas Recon, the damage that he's taking is permanent. Neymar says, this matchup very difficult for Poseidon. Maybe so, but I think Recon is doing a tremendous job so far. He's got his second TC. He's defending himself right here. Probably would love to see that tower upgrade. But he's also got a gold mine here that Kvoth doesn't know about. Ooh, shockwave used. Forcing out a ceasefire. That's probably good. I wonder, is that ceasefire? That is really sick for Kvoth because ceasefire is a perfect counter to chaos. And now, if Recon wants to use ceasefire against chaos, he needs to pay 75 favor for it. So that shockwave was so insane from Kvoth. Really, really well done. And he's just building military barracks. 4 of them so far. Nice little raiding group here from Kvoth. 2 Hippias, Atalanta, and a Centaur. Good mix. And sky passages are being established around the map. Well, 2 places for now. Nice attack here from Kvoth as well. This temple will produce militia, so losing it isn't even that bad for Recon. But at the same time, you know, it is a bit annoying. Carnivore used here just to take down 1 Hippias and maybe assist a bit in taking this temple down. What? This special attack has like no cooldown. Carnivore are very strong. And even though the militia are produced, like I said, there's only 2.5 remaining. Only 2.5 men remaining from the temple. Over here, the raiding group from Recon not managing to deal the damage that he was hoping for, but if you can take down the Mamillo hero here, that's actually huge. But also huge from Kvoth saving that Mamillo hero. But this citizen probably gonna go down now, though. Ooh, so much microing going on right now. Good fight from Kvoth. I don't think Recon can keep up here. Wait, can he? Hippias is so strong. No upgrades to their name, but they actually win here with the help of the militia and the Theseus to tank all the infantry damage here. Let's take a look at Kvoth's unit composition here. It's Mamillos. Two Caladrias. Probably would love to see more of these. They seem to be doing a really, really good job throughout this game here. And once you cannot even heal your units back to full rapidly, I think it's a good time to add more. Like 4 or 5, why not? Nice wall here from Recon. Quickly establishing it, realizes he's gonna need that against the Mamillo army. But at the same time, this goes down so rapidly. Recon gone for the raid up here. On a sky passage, it's nice to get rid of it, sure, but it doesn't deal any real damage, any real significant damage. There's this gold mine here for Recon. Kvoth still doesn't know about it. Such a weird raiding group here. Theseus and 2 militia. How did they get here? Sky passages, only 2 for Kvoth. If you could get one over here, how sick would that be? It's a long trek, it's a dangerous trek to take, but it would be so sick. Big shockwave coming in, potentially. No units nearby. The hero Mamillo will... Oh, look at that. No, thought it was stuck on the gold mine for a sec, but... guess it doesn't matter, it dies in the end anyways. Recon is now building Toxotes. I think oftentimes the usual play for Poseidon is to go heroic age either for Dionysus, just for exceptionally strong horses, or through Aphrodite and then start making Hippaspists. But Recon is staying in classical age and making Toxotes, getting the tower upgrade as well. And look at the villager discrepancy, 60 to 44. So Recon is in a great state. I guess that's why he's going for the Toxotes here. He wants to just play full defense and say, as long as nothing terrible happens, we're in a good spot. I think that's what Recon is doing right now. And so instead of going heroic, instead of risking Kvoth just running over him, he's going to keep up in military. As good as he can anyways. He's down 800. But he's going to keep up in military and ensure he's not going to get overrun. And through that, he's just going to slowly start accumulating enough of an advantage with the villager lead that he can eventually start winning fights big time. Kvoth is so... I'm a bit surprised that Kvoth is not a bit more... Yeah, if this was me playing Oranos and I was 1 TC versus 2 for this long, I would be worried. I would be worried that I'm falling behind. And even though, like there's no way that Kvoth can think he's got a gold control going on. He has not scouted this or this. So if he does think he's got a gold control, he's being incredibly naive. This is nice from Recon. He's going to be able to take down these 4 Mamillos, I think. Only 1 Centaur. Would have been nice to see some additional ones being produced, but... Whew. Heroic in for Recon. Whoever said this was a hard matchup for Poseidon, I think Recon is really showcasing that you can actually make this work. So far, Recon is making this look very, very good for Poseidon. Got some farm setup also, only 8, but it's a nice start. It's that slow farm transition when you can do that. Ooh, and the fortress here is so good. Fortress with 3 military academies in front of it, a small wall here as well. This gold mine is not going down anytime soon. What is Kvoth thinking here? He's got this sky passage that's really sick. Recon is playing this really well, but I also think Kvoth has done a really poor job of not scouting this area. He should have taken 1 Caladria and figure out, is there a gold mine here? And if so, he's going to change his game plan, and he's going to change the way that he plays. 18 Mamillo heroes here. What is this? He's obviously got this upgrade, so they're very cheap to make, but why? What does he need 18 heroes for? Am I stupid? Sometimes you'll see Atlantean players doing this where they just spam hero Mamillos, but then the reason for it is that you cannot get hit by curse. That's not the case here. Plenty of units that can hit by curse. Ooh, such a good raid here from Kvoth. That's gonna be brutal. Gone from 75 down to, what is it? Woo, such a good raid. Over here, nice defense. Meanwhile, I think he took down 8 villagers or so in that small little raid. Kvoth still making a game of this. Recon is ahead, don't get me wrong. But Kvoth is making some nice moves here. Bit of a blunder from Recon being outside of these city gates, if you ask me. But still a very nice move from Kvoth. Over here, a new fortress being established, but there's 2 Stymphalian birds and some Mamillos. These villages could easily go down right here. 2 gone down so far. Over here, more aggression. Also playing this so well. This fortress does go up in the end. Recon lost some villagers, but another thing is, when you're 2 versus 1 TCs, you can allow yourself to lose some villagers here and there. It's alright. Because obviously you can reproduce them a lot quicker than your opponent. So even though Recon lost quite a few villagers in this last minute or 2, he's still up by 12 villager population. As Poseidon versus Oranos, that's really sick. So, take a look at the sky passages. 1 here, another here, and 1 at home. So, there's a good corner control with the sky passages, even a town center control. This settlement and this settlement is easy access for Kvoth. You know what would be sick is if this sky passage could be relocated up here. Because that gives Kvoth control over this gold mine, this settlement, this gold mine, and this settlement. There's a gold mine here as well. And Recon doesn't need more than 2 TCs. He can just stay, he's pre-queued Hephaestus. If he gets there with 2 TCs, he gets all the armor upgrades, he'll be just fine. But big fight here. Shockwave used, Curse used, no Carnivore because there's not the favor in for Kvoth. And the heroes are here for Recon to take care of the Stymphalian birds. Looking like Kvoth is actually doing just fine. Issue is, I don't think the Toxodies are going to be very easy for him to take down. Especially when they can garrison inside and out of the fortress. It's a nice little win for Kvoth, nevertheless. Definitely what Kvoth needs. Every time there's a skirmish, Kvoth needs to win it. He is down in villagers, down at town center. He needs to win these skirmishes, as he is, but at the same time, I really think this one has to be relocated. Screw the palace, get the sky passage here. So, from Recon's perspective now, this gold mine has been depleted. This one, 5,600. Recon gonna go Hephaestus very soon, but look, if Kvoth had maybe Satyrs, Arcus over here, you can deny this gold mine, despite this fortress being here. Wouldn't it be a good Arcus play? Just to deny the gold mine. I know that Arcus is a bit of a meme unit these days, but yeah, there they are. They're really good in a situation like this, taking down a villager, building the wall already. And now what does Recon do? They are meme, yes, but you see, the range that they've got, 20 range, innate, means that Recon doesn't have access to a gold mine now at all. Hephaestus is gonna come in, but he needs Fortune Olympus, and then he needs to start getting all the armory upgrades. It's like 2-3 minutes from now before the big power spike hits. Another good raid here from Kvoth. I don't think Kvoth is out of this at all. Taking down the fortress as well, maybe? Good raid here. Kvoth does see it. Arcus are bad. Yeah, they're just, in terms of damage output, Arcus just doesn't do very much compared to Chariot Archers or Toxotes or something like that. So people generally tend to avoid building them. But in a situation like this, the big range from the Arcus is so good. Yeah, Recon gonna start selling wood now to get some gold income. But like I said, the Hephaestus is gonna come in. But that doesn't mean too much. The big power spike is still far away, and Recon needs to take care of this sky passage immediately before Kvoth gets to send reinforcements up here. Ooh, potentially a bit of a blunder from Kvoth, actually. Going this aggressive on this location when all he had to do was maybe send them back into the sky passage, and you could just use your Arcus to deny the gold. Either way, fortress gonna be established here from Recon, and Kvoth can't go through here. Too difficult. Has to go the long route. Unfortunately, Olympus is in, and already now beginning to get the second line of armory upgrades. Do you think even Yumi Archers are better than Arcus? Yeah, Yumi Archers aren't that bad at all. I think they're great. Ah, good enough. Not great. Alright. Oh, wait, what happened here? There's a sky passage here! Kvoth! The maniac! Oh, unfortunate. So unfortunate for Kvoth. Like, had he done that half a second earlier, this fortress would not have gone up. Guys, this is why we watch from player perspective instead of with omniscience. This is so much better. Recon has no clue what just happened here. Oh my god, the Toxotes though. Aw. No. These are Toxotes with a lot of upgrades to their name. They're so strong. These units are so good. Oh, I wanted that to work for Kvoth so badly. What a sick play from Kvoth. But now it's going to be really, really tough. Recon is getting tax collectors. That's going to make buying and selling better for him. Plus, he is also Poseidon. That's kind of sick. I don't know what... Can we see the rates? Buy and sell rates. Look at this. 69, 41, 46, 28. Ah. Not that much. But it's something, I guess. So Poseidon has an innate bonus that makes these raids better for him. Wait, look at this. If he gets some gold now, buying food costs 65 gold to get 100 food. It costs 39 gold to get 100 wood. So buying from the market right now is exceptionally cheap. Both players, I think. Yeah, let's look at it from Kvoth. Yeah, for Kvoth also, buying food and wood is super cheap. Anyways, I'm not looking at the game. I'm looking at market rates. This is a menacing army. The Toxotes are now champions. Big raid from Kvoth, but once again, just that tiny 1 or 2 seconds too late for it to really be brutal. Recon is got such a menacing army right now. 11 militia here also. Pure Kvoth, he made so many cool moves this game, but when you're down 1 TC versus 2, you can make all the coolest moves in the game. It's not gonna matter too much, because we see what happens is that your opponent is just gonna play it ever so slowly, and they're gonna get to the Mythic Age with all these upgrades. Oh my god, and the Toxotes, they're gonna do like this, like we see right here. Can they take down these Riders of Rohan? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Toxotes are so insanely strong. Wait, actually, they're gonna die. Retreating into the forest, so annoying to have to deal with. But they're gonna go down. 8 destroyers in for Kvoth also. But he's well and truly stuck in the heroic age with just 2 town centers. Recon has got 3 TCs, he's in the Mythic Age, he's got all the armory upgrades. So Kvoth has got a Herculean effort ahead of him. $4K food, true. Yeah, and Recon has got that much food, surely, no. I was gonna say surely he's setting up a trade route also with that much food, but why isn't he? Got a really sick trade route pretty much secured with that much food. Guess he's busy doing other things. Here's the big boy. 1015 HP, 57% pierce and hack armor, and all this damage. Recon just has to find a way to end this game, because his economy is infinitely better than Kvoth's, and his technologies in particular. The amount of technologies that he's got, and the value of them. That's where he really surpasses Kvoth. So all he has to do is find a way to end the game. This is a nice little move with 4 Toxotes. Over here, saw the Sauron slash on the Dryads. Kvoth is gonna get this CC up. But yes, it's just still stuck in the heroic age. An Atlantean player stuck in the heroic age against a Mythic Age Poseidon with all the upgrades already in. Very, very, very tough situation for Mr. Kvoth. Recon preparing a cav switch. True, load of horses and heavy cav. Golden apples coming in as well. Recon is saying, look at all my resources. What even can I do with them? What even do I do with them? That polyphemus attack, so sick. Yeah, the cavalry switch tech, the cavalry tech switch is actually really sick. Because Prodromos can take care of the Contarius, Hibius can take care of the Arcus. Could also do a Wonder, could do a Titan. Anything Recon. Buy a lot of wood. Look at this. Market rates. Oh, this much gold, this little wood. And you can buy wood for this cheap. Even food for this cheap. You gotta utilize that. This is what Arcus are good for. Arcus are amazing at defending, as we see here. But they fail at many other things. Hey, Dima Fireblood. Recon is just... I think Recon is going through his buildings and he's asking himself, which technologies have I not gotten yet? And then he's getting them. Coinage, Champion Cap, Flood Control, Bowsaw. It's a late one, but whatever. Long game today. Yeah, Kvoth is intent on playing this one out. I'd say right now there is a 0.2% chance that Kvoth wins here. This trade route from Recon is so sick. Actually, Recon not even auto-queuing donkey caravans, he's making them manually. What a beast. I always auto-queue them, and I forget about it until I have, like, full population in caravans. Alright, this is looking good for Recon. He's established a big army over here with Polyphemus, and he's getting a nice forward fortress. This will be very difficult for Kvoth to deal with, and this just might end the game. The Arcus are beginning to fall short. Once the hoplites are on top of them, you know, it's so hard for these Arcus to actually deal much of anything, as you see here. Recon takes it. Really well played from Recon. Also gotta give big props to Kvoth. The raid with the Mamillos and the little plates with the Sky Passage, especially over here, was really, really sick. But, yeah, I also gotta say, Kvoth, he just resigned 5-10 minutes earlier. Hello? Okay, next up we've got Shinong versus Susano on, what was it, Ghost Lake. So this is gonna be interesting. This is actually, it's gonna be such an interesting game because, like I said, most people would say Shinong is just a straight up better god than Susano. But Kvoth had his first pick of, well, the ace pick was Susano, but on that the first pick was Susano. The ace pick was Sukuyomi, but then the first pick is Susano, prioritizing that over Shinong. And that should just be... That's, I really hope for Kvoth that he's gonna win this then, otherwise he's gonna look like a fool, am I right? Just see if I can find the game they're in. Alright, 2 minutes and we'll get going. So the actual matchup, Ghost Lake, Shinong versus Susano. Gonna be very important to see if it's 1 or 2 gold mines, pretty much as always on Ghost Lake. But if it's 1 gold mine and it's exposed for Susano, that could be very difficult. Because Susano has a hard time defending against early Chinese aggression. But with 2 gold mines, I think that should favor Susano. It's gonna give a lot of opportunities for raiding. Sit back a bit and just raid, that's what Susano wants to do. Did I force him to pick Nordics? No, I didn't. But yeah, you're right. Thor, Frey, and Loki picked. That's kind of sick. And Odin. All 4 of them picked. So Hades is the only one who wasn't picked here. North. Hades is the only one not picked. That's a rarity. Hey, and Magical Cow. Good to see you here. They saw me playing Hades, decided to not play it. Could be true. Alright, let's get into the video game. Welcome back, everyone. We are here on Ghost Lake. It's a beautiful day on Ghost Lake. Weather is 14 degrees Celsius and barely any wind. So should be good for scouting. Should be good for goat scouting. Spawning on the top of the map, we've got Susano, Kvoth, and down the bottom we've got Recon with his Shinong. And it's a 1 gold mine, Ghost Lake. So, like I said, this was exactly the scenario I was talking about. Susano with a single gold mine that's really poor for defending. And this is a bad mining camp, I suspect. I don't think you're going to be able to fit in here. These villagers are too fat to fit in here. If Recon notices that, which I think he did, let's actually see here. Oh, he didn't. He should have thrown a balloon into the base here. Bit surprised that he doesn't. Maybe he's he's maybe a bit focused on securing the goats rather. He should be scouting where the gold mine is, and then make his build order according to what he sees. But I don't know. It's not what he's doing. I really, if Recon decides against playing aggressive here, because he doesn't scout the gold mine, that's such a mistake from him. Or maybe he just wants to do something specific. I don't know. He hasn't used his prosperous farms. So that tells me that he wants to go for either a big fast rush or he wants to go for a really fast 2 TC boom. But given this map, if he had done a better job scouting, he should have 100% gone for early aggression here. The reason why it's so good with China against Japan is because as China, you simply build Javelineers and Halberdiers and fire archers if needed, but you've got all the big counters to the Japanese units, and you just outmass the Chinese army very, very easily. And then with your ranged units, you can deny the gold mine when it's exposed like this, and it's such a hard time. And this gold mine is so terrible because there's no wood line nearby, So he cannot really effectively guard it. Insofar as he can, he's gonna have to build like a temple here, a wall, then 2 production buildings and a house or something like that. It's a big endeavor to get all of this protected from archers. Japan just make archers and beat that comp. They outrange javelins. Nah, they don't outrange javelins that much, do they? No, no, no. You're wrong, young goat. Wait, they actually do fit in here. Oh, they do. I'm sorry for fat shaming you guys. He recon then. He is going up through Chi Yao. How many Kuafu? 2 Kuafu. Gonna be a... Oh, I should swap places. Like this. There we go. 18 versus 17 range. Yeah, that's not enough. You're gonna need a much higher range bonus than that before you can reliably counter Javelineers. 19 with Minakatsusomi. It's still not enough. Hey, Sadfat. Good to see ya. Okay, Recon is in, and he's just lucky here. Recon is just lucky. Now he sees a gold mine. He's up through Chiyao any day now. Any second now. There it is. But this is just pure luck from Recon. He's going for the aggressive plays, but the gold mine may as well have been in the back. But here is what I was talking about. 4 pioneers sitting on this gold mine. What do you even do here as Susano? We saw in the Champions League finals, Mr. versus Rebel. Mr. had a horrendous map. And the early aggression, when you're Susano and your map is horrendous, it's just so difficult to deal with. And I think Kvoth is gonna be in a similar situation as we saw Mr. in the Champions League finals. Ooh, and he's even done a poor job with the wood line. I was complimenting Kvoth in the earlier game that he didn't put his wood on an exposed point, but this game he does. 17 gold for Kvoth right here. What is he gonna do? He's got 2 horses. 2 horses, a spider lady, and a dream. No spider lady remaining now. Bro. Why was he in the forward wood anyways? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sadfat. He should have been on the back. Maybe he didn't want to do it where the shrine is, but I don't know. Kvoth now making a play for it. Sending 8 villagers forward. He's got 2 horses and a Miko to defend himself. But Recon actually being... Wait, I was gonna say he built this Yahtzee himself. I don't think so. That one was free. This is just so brutal. If you're Japan, what would be the alternative? You could go Minakatsusomi, but then Shrine of the Hunt. Those are myth unit wolves to defend yourself. Pioneers will melt those wolves. Raids over here. Did I miss it? Sorry. Kvoth has got himself a cute raiding party here. And Doris box, very nice. Cheaper, he lost 2 villages. Alright, alright. I mean, it doesn't... What matters is his gold mine, right? How do you get any gold if your name is Kvoth right here? Lost a Kwafu? Doesn't matter. Recon can lose like 5 villagers here, it won't matter. The kids in there are back, now being healed up by the Miko. And with the Sky Lanterns, Recon can continually just send lanterns to this gold mine, and this one for that matter. The Ivory Netsuke dream. It is pretty cute, but it costs gold. He's got 250 here, obviously he's got himself a market. He needs 5 favor for Ivory Netsuke. The thing is, these kids in it just don't deal very much damage. So even if you have Ivory Netsuke in, it still takes a long ass time before you begin to get some serious gold generation from it. towers are in, that's going to be very helpful too. I think Recon gotta keep up the pressure here. Maybe make some fire archers to better deal with this tower. Just go full aggressive. If you lose 5-10 units, it's alright so long as the tower goes down. Good job with the Kitsune here. 7.3 speed Kitsune with that crushing wave technology. And Kvoth is allowed to go on the gold now. Ah, for a few seconds anyways. For a few glorious seconds there, he was allowed to mine the gold mine. The Recon now. Actually gonna be raided again, but this time he's ready. 2 pioneers and a good dog sitting ready and waiting. A lot of heroes here for Recon. When you're playing Shinong, you do have access to the HP buff for your pioneers, so that's really nice. Good excuse for making a lot of pioneers is you get some good upgrades for them. Interesting little what's it called, Shinong's farms here. Gonna be able to defend much better against the raids on the wood line in the near future now. Still 1400 gold remaining on this gold. And it's a struggle for Kvoth. The tower upgrade obviously doing a really good job for Kvoth. He would wish he had that from the beginning, but wasn't the case. 28 to 32 bills. 3 Mikos. Nice. It's a very comfortable matchup for Shinong. I think a lot of it comes down to the gold mine placement. When it's forward like this, it's so easy for China to take advantage of the Japanese player. But yeah, anytime Kvoth goes for the gold on this mine, he's losing villagers in the process. Recon is losing military units, to be fair, but it also just means that Recon is pulling ahead in terms of villager numbers. I think these Kitsune has done a good job of raiding still. Ooh, Samurai is in. Unit is gonna be huge. Kusanagi used here trying to get something done, but didn't really work out at all. Actually just realized, another good reason to make all these pioneers for Recon, they don't get affected by the Swampland. Swampland only hits real, regular human units. So, with an army consisting of this many heroes, Swampland is not gonna hit nearly as hard. Looking alright for Kvoth here. He's kind of pushing back 2 samurais, 2 Naginata riders. Needs to heal these bad boys up, but even then, Kvoth is kind of doing alright here for a second. Massive weaponry is in for Recon, so the horses are going to be very difficult to use now. 15 pioneers in for Recon. Recon, just heal, please. How does he heal? You can't heal as Shinong, unless you're in the heroic age. Dude, Kvoth has kind of done it, hasn't he? He's made the comeback happen. He's obviously not won the game just yet, but he's only down 4 bills. Over here, I think the Kitsune raid has helped him out a ton. I'm sorry for missing it, I've been a bit focused on the gold mine here. 3 Kitsune dying here. Forward farms. The farms heals villagers, not military units. Okay, another Kusanagi coming in. And the army for Kvoth, what is it? 4 Naginata riders, 2 samurai. Lightning weapons used to take down 2 Naginata riders and a samurai. Maybe even this samurai? No. Kvoth now taking this opportunity to maybe get a stable up on this location. Swampland used, and it's just gonna be for defense, forcing... Still getting 3 kills, maybe even more. I think Recon did such a good job. They're retreating really early, but... Yeah, it's a bit RNG, this Swampland, sometimes. For Kitsune still in the game. Only one Miko getting favor. But with that Bushido tier in, Bushido tier 2, and you could potentially see like a lot of extra Kusanagi here from Kvoth. Holy, 13 minutes into the game and we're seeing the first heroic age myth unit, and it's the Baihu. I think the Baihu is probably the best myth unit you can get here if you're a Recon. This thing deals so much single target damage. And you can use that versus Samurais or Naginata Riders, doesn't really matter. It's gonna be brutal whenever it hits, and so difficult for Kvoth to actually take down that Baihu. Whew. Dude, the Kitsune raids have been so good. I'm sorry for missing most of them. I did see the end of this one at least. But yeah, they've done such a good job for Kvoth. And I think maybe, given the fact that Swampland is used once, and still very... Oh my god, another Kusanagi. This one is huge. This one is a huge one. The pure archer army of Recon is being spread all around. And with 7 Naginata Riders, 6, 1 Samurai, I was gonna say it could be really good for Kvoth, but his numbers are dwindling. The Baihu is so strong, like I said. 1 Onimusha is targeting it down. A bad job from Recon not recognizing that earlier. The Onimusha stayed alive for a bit too long, but in the end, Kvoth is forced to retreat again. And Miko's going down as well. 2 Mikos remaining for Kvoth. 1 is on favor duty up here. This one is on healing duty. Villager number is 40 to 43. The Kitsune has really been so important for Kvoth in keeping him in this game. Like, he should not be down by just 3. It's all because he's done such a good job with the Kitsune raids. Unfortunately, only 14 favor remaining for him. He's unable to produce more Kitsune, especially if he wants to recast the god powers that he's kind of relied on in keeping these skirmishes somewhat doable for him. 2 shrines being worked on now for Kvoth. He's gonna need that. Realistically speaking, he's gonna need more than just 2. He's gonna need at least 4, I think, as Susano. Good raid over here. But with Recon realizing that he's under attack, he doesn't have survival equipment. Nevertheless, he can easily fend off this attack with some nice villager micro. And I think it's starting to look rough for Kvoth. It's looked rough for a while, but at the same time, it did look alright a few times. Now, though, 500 military value versus 4,500. I'd say there's a bit of an advantage for Recon at this stage. The Baihu is still here. Why no Yumi archers for defense? I think it's because the moment you start to build Yumi archers, you're also inviting Recon to build Javelineers. And it's just so easy to counter the Yumi archers with Javelineers. So you kind of don't want to do that. Also, you see, whenever the Kusanagi hits and the Chinese units are spread in a circle, it's so much better to have melee units to sort of take advantage of the spread that you get from the Kusanagi. It all just works much better when you've got melee units. Also, Swampland. You know, you can chase units around with your melee units, slow them down, block them from escaping the Swampland. I think that's got to be a big part of the answer. Is the god powers just synergizes better with a melee army than an archer army. Next Bushido tier close. Yep, 716 XP. Slowly getting there. There's no myth units in for Kvoth though. All the Kitsune are dead. Got 27. Maybe he should build some extra kitsune now, just to get that the Bushido trickle going. When you're playing as Susano, you'll get extra Bushido by having mid units out on the field. Over here, Kvoth trying to sneak this gold mine, but there is a halberdier there. Oh. Nani? Ja, hvad tror du? What do you think? What do you think is up? Nani? Nani? Hey, okay. Why? I was gonna say why not delete the villager, but now it makes sense. Okay. So now Kvoth has to go for this gold mine or the one up here. Probably not gonna go for this one, given that Recon has got 30,000 units sitting there. 19 farms established for Kvoth. He does have plow. He doesn't have husbandry. Yeah, the villagers actually saved. The villagers saved their friend from being stuck inside the mine. This is what you hear about in the news. So what do you guys think? 2,600 military resources for Kvoth. Can he defend this gold mine? Oof, over here, the master of weaponry halberdier slowing down the Naginata riders. So brutal right here. And Kvoth cannot afford to throw away units, which is kind of what he's doing in these raids. Obviously, Kvoth has relied so much on his raids and keeping him in this game. You cannot fault him for going for it again. But with them being horses and so heavily counted by the masters of weaponry halberdiers, I don't think it's the right call. Somehow Raijin is actually in for Kvoth, so he's gonna have a Thunderburst God Power, which when you're against this many small Chinese units, it's gonna be a really good God Power to have. But so is Fey Beasts. Kvoth. His villagers are just moving. Where can I go? But obviously Recon being smart, he's throwing sky lanterns everywhere. He needs to know where these villagers are heading. Now, he should see the villagers moving up there and maybe act accordingly. Seems like he threw the lantern and didn't realize that the villagers actually was going over here again. So that's going to give Kvoth a good opportunity to get that last bit of resources in before he uses his Thunderburst, which is going to give him... Oh, he's also going to get Bushido tier 3. So it's going to be Thunderburst, Kusanagi, Swampland. And that could be really brutal for Recon. You know, 3 God Powers coming in now. As soon as Bushido tier 3 is in, we're gonna see all 3 God Powers used again. Fey Beasts, obviously also ready. I think there's gonna be a big confrontation up here now. It could potentially be game deciding. Kvoth is getting Shaft Mine. Got the castle over here. Really quick to establish that. I'm a bit surprised. Well done from Kvoth. And we're gonna see it now maybe. Underneath the castle. Swampland into Thunderburst. Kusanagi is available over here. Doesn't have the vision unfortunately. Thunderburst again. Could have went a lot better for Kvoth, I feel like. In the end, not even that bad for Recon. So Recon is playing Shinong, so he does have the option to go for herbal medicine, very cheap tech. And then if you get a few sages out, you can AoE heal. Yep, he doesn't have the tech though. But you can heal with your sages. When you got an army like this, it could be really, really sick. Raiju, trying to get the damage done, but doesn't seem like it's able to. This guy shut down Raiju raid so well. I think Recon wants to heal up, but he's only got 2 sages and he doesn't... I don't know if he got the wrong tech maybe, if he intended to get the other one. He's building the sages and he's healing with them. But he's not getting the tech. Recon. What does it cost? 5 favor, 100 gold. So if you have the tech, you heal for 50% more, plus it's gonna be AoE healing. So it's a really, really good tech when you have this many sages out. No doubt about it. Villager count is 58 to 62. You wouldn't think so, but Kvoth is keeping up perfectly well in economy this game. And he's got a big menacing army here. What has he got? 15 samurais and 9 horses. And some archer heroes in the back. Baby is used now, but the archer heroes are ready. Kusanagi used big dodge coming in from Recon. That was so sick. I don't know how he did that so well. But Recon won that fight. I don't know if it was the Fabies that did it. That was so sick from Recon. Did you see the dodge? Thought for a second there maybe Kvoth was gonna make the amazing comeback, but for now, it's not gonna be it. I think maybe he's on top of these units again. There are heroes to take care of the Baihu. No more myth units remaining for Recon, and a lot of these more or less trash units remaining, mostly pioneers. Maybe they're not even that trashy at all. Seems like they're faring just well here. I wonder with these sages, if you get... Oh, he's actually holding back. If you get the tech, the herbal medicine tech, and you keep them in the back during a fight, maybe it's good to just have them healing during the fight. That's something I've tried before, but I could imagine that maybe working out. Over here, nice little raid from Kvoth, taking care of the units stationed over here to guard the gold mine. And that's Mythic 18 for Recon. I didn't even see that. I didn't even see he was going for the Mythic Age. I will continue right-clicking this Sage unit. Oh, there we see it. Herbal Medicine coming in for Recon. 25 minutes in, we're getting there. So that's an interesting choice of Minor God in the Mythic Age. It's Jurong. It's not going for the amazing Dao Swordsman that we see Shinong going for so much. Actually going for the Jurong instead. I wonder why. Wonder what that's for. With Jurong, you get the farm upgrade right here, which is really sick. Farm's gonna cost 15 wood only, and plus 15% gala rate. And there's only 9 farms established for Recon as of right now, so it's gonna be such a sick technology. He will be able to make a farm transition almost for free, plus it's gonna be even more effective. Shinobi in for Kvoth. Rare unit. 6 Shinobi in, but it's not enough, especially when there are reinforcements on the way over here. Cat does follow my movement, yes! Okay, Kvoth. Getting this TC now. Recon a bit late with the Qinglong. And that's gonna be great for Kvoth. I mean, these 16 villagers are supposed to be on the gold mine, but for now, he's gonna have to wait out this Qinglong to die. This Qinglong is just moving here, it's just flying past. And it's actually dealing so much damage in just doing that by forcing 16 gold miners to be idle for that long at a very pivotal time. Now we see the blazing prairie coming in on the military units, on the castle, and Kvoth does a good job of dodging it with his units anyways. There are villagers caught in the crossfire. The castle will go down, I'm sure. And all in all, Recon does get a nice victory from that. Look at that, 1,500 military resource value for Kvoth versus 7,000 for Recon. We are seeing Watatsumi coming in for Kvoth. Gonna give him access to the Typhoon God Power, which is insane, which can really obliterate an entire army in seconds. But at the same time, Recon should probably know by now that Kvoth is going for that God Power and accordingly split up his army in two. Just don't keep your army in one place and you'll be fine when you're going up against the Typhoon God Power. Think of it like Lightning Storm, Implode, that kind of thing. The biggest counter to it is if you can split your armies in two. It's gonna negate so much of the value that those kind of destructive God Powers brings. 22 pioneers are in right here. We also have Wenjong in. This guy is a beast of a unit. Such a strong unit. It can convert an enemy myth unit to your own for like 30 seconds. Not only that, he can take down buildings. He deals AoE damage to units around him. Very, very sick unit. And with all the Shinong technologies, at least the Peach of Immortality, he's a chunky unit too. How far is Bushido? It's far. 15,000 XP remaining. Very far. Watatsumi though, gonna be in. And Recon, maybe not playing this too well. I think he's gonna get caught in the Typhoon here. But the good thing for Recon is he's got so many Tiger Cavalry. And these are chunky units. They're gonna survive the Typhoon most likely. I mean, I've seen worse than this. But the bad thing is Recon's army is now kind of caught over here. Does manage to escape for now, but they're so low HP. You look at the military value, Recon's still got a lot. Still got a lot, but they're just very, very, very low HP. All of them. Kusanagi right here. Oh, he doesn't have it. I was gonna say that could kill a lot of units. Swampland used over here, not a good use. Not a good use at all. Although Swampland is amazing versus Tiger Cav, you gotta ensure that they have no retreat path, because otherwise it's just a big waste. Villager wise, 68 to 82. Recon also doing a tremendous job with these bow lays here. It's something I see really good Chinese players doing, is relying a lot on bow lays. Just build these all over the map because they're so cheap. 500 resources. And so strong also. You're gonna need them for Tiger Cavalry production anyways. And Recon seems to be in control now. The game has gone 30 minutes plus. I never would have expected that if you asked me 5 minutes into this game. If this was gonna turn into a 30-minute game, but yeah, Kvoth has done a really sick job hanging in there, but now he's up against Tiger Cavalry, Pioneers, and that's it. Surely there's going to be some X cards probably coming in as well. All Recon really needs is a way to take down buildings. Otherwise, this army seems to have it all. Thunderburst coming in from Kvoth. Kusanagi also available. Cannot use Kusanagi where the Thunderburst is on. So for now, deciding against using it. Also trying to set up some wizards, some Oyumi. Gonna be really good against the building spam from Recon. But the lone wizard here is not enough. He's gonna need so many. Siege weapons. In terms of Bushido, 8,000 XP remaining. And when you get to that Bushido tier 4 as Susano, you're gonna get so much favor. And that does mean that Bushido tier 4 potentially could mean a new Typhoon. A new Dragon Typhoon, so that could be a way back in this game for Kvoth as well. Need to get that remaining XP. And then a Typhoon over here could be so sick. But it does seem like Recon is just really marching in. Trampling his way in towards this castle. Just need some siege weapons if you ask me. Recon takes it. Gotta give credit to Kvoth hanging in there with such a poor map. He did such a nice job of making a game of it, despite the, let's just say, rough start. Yeah, really well played to both of these players. Recon takes it 2-1. You think gold mine spawns like this shouldn't be a thing? I feel like the game would be better without such horrendous gold spawns. Besides, too many matchups in my opinion. It's a hard question because if you always have a reliable map, if you know you can always play defensive early on, it's kind of, I'd say that's kind of problematic also. So I don't know. I do like the RNG element. Pegasus Rush said it also. Kvoth advanced at 440 with a gold mine like that. So coming up, we've got Thor versus Frey. Anyone guess the map? 3, 2, 1. On Anatolia. So Anatolia is a Norse map now. If you didn't get the memo, Anatolia is a Norse map. What's Holy Wiggler Wednesday? Do you not know, Dima? Do you not know about Wiggler Wednesday? Hey, thank you so much. I don't even know where you're from with these signs. From YouTube. I don't want to say something wrong. Is that Taiwanese or Chinese? But hey, thank you for the nice donation. Very good match cover. Thank you, thank you. All right, 40 seconds and we can get going with game number 4 on Anatolia. Good map. What do you think, Pegasus? Your #1 Greek map has turned into a Norse map. How does that make you feel? Kvoth made an uwu pose and pick. It's repulsive. What do you think? Do you think with your Hades or Zeus, do you think you can beat the new Norse meta? Where do you stand? Either way, we're gonna go into the game now. Oh, I did the wrong transition. Sorry. Wrong transition, but it is what it is. Welcome to Anatolia. In the we need to pause. In the bottom side of the map, we have Kvoth playing as Frey. And in the top of the map, we got Recon playing as Thor. Yeah, as I was saying, this map used to be Zeus versus Hades 99% of all games. But it seems like in... what is that little white thing doing? It's annoying. Can we get rid of that? Yeah, there we go. It seems like recently, people have just decided that Norse is good here for some reason. I've always maintained this is a Norse map. I always went Loki or Frey here. Oh yeah, what Pegasus says here is interesting also. He says Norse is just good into Greek in general. So maybe it's not so much that this is just good Norse map, but also if you are against Greek, at least you're playing Norse, who's just well positioned against Greek in general. That's an interesting point. Recon going for a forward dock on this side and then moving back home, building a house. Whereas Kvoth is going for exactly the same. Except for the house. I should also do this. Looks right? Yes. Oh yeah, they're doing exactly the same. They're kind of mirroring each other. Except one is on the right side, the other is on the left side. So I guess they are actually mirroring each other here. Nice little move from Kvoth, going for the early fishing spots up here, the early aggressive ones. Yeah, nice. Could even take a third one. Beautiful. I think Kvoth senses that right about now, a little later than 2 minutes, that's when this dog is going to go up. He's just going to take the opportunity to secure these fishing spots right here. And that's going to give him 4 spots versus 2 on the right side. Meanwhile, Recon has not done it. Recon is actually going for the defensive fishing spots up here, when he could easily get these instead. I think he's realizing now that's what he should have done. But it's going to cost some extra sailing time, less fishing time with the fishing ships. I guess when all is said and done, it's going to be about the same happening on both sides. But that's going to be super interesting because it means that there's going to be a lot to fight over in the early stages of the game. Both players having 4 on one side and 2 on the other. That's going to mean that there's going to be a lot of classical age fighting, I think. This won't be just both players going heroic age and getting all the upgrades in the classical age and so on, because they cannot afford that. They have to play on water and land simultaneously. Yeah, StatFat, who do we have to blame for this? I don't know. I don't take any credit for it. Or blame, anyways. I'll take credit, I won't take blame, okay? A new Berserk build from Kvoth? That's interesting. Why did you do that? So he's got a... that's actually interesting. Something I haven't done much myself, but he's building a temple with the one Berserk, and then the other is building forward docks like this. Because if he's just got one Berserk, he's going to build the temple, and then by the time he gets up here, there's a big chance that this dog is never going to go up. But if you build a second Berserk, you get to build these aggressive docks, which is so needed because he's got control of these fishing spots here. But it's also a bit dangerous for Kvoth with this operation over here. Dock and the house, no fishing spot. How is he going to be able to defend this? It's going to be very hard. Well, he's got one fishing boat now. Recon, meanwhile, I think he's got 15 fishing boats versus 12 for Kvoth. So a bit of an advantage for Recon in the fishing boat numbers. Also, the earlier advance from Recon. So all in all, actually I'd say a much better archaic age in from Recon than Kvoth. See what else he's got. No eco upgrade for now. Maybe just deciding to forgo it once the hearse is out instead. But once Classical Age hits for both of these players, there's gonna be fireworks, I think. I think both players gonna have to just fully commit on Classical Age. And like we saw here with Recon, he's not even going for eco upgrades because he wants to spend all the resources he has on military and per sane, I guess. I say one thing and then they do this to me. Valkyrie coming in from Recon, that's going to be very valuable. Can forest fire and potentially pick off a villager or two as well. So see how Kvoth is going to defend that. He's going up through Uller. He's gone up through Uller. Also, of course, getting Persane with Frey. There's no reason not to because it's so cheap. But this is going to be potentially brutal. These 8 villagers have to respect the forest fire. Even if it's not used, every time the Valkyrie is nearby, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it could be nice for Recon to maybe just hold on to it, so that Kvoth would have to really respect the Valkyrie every time it came near, but this is also nice. He's forcing a lot of idle time on these wood choppers at a time when Kvoth really needs the wood income. Of course, this Kvoth being Frey, he's got the hand axe already, but no pickaxe, interestingly. No pickaxe. I think pickaxe is well worth it. Look at the resources he's floating. Could easily squeeze the pickaxe in there, am I right? Bit surprised by how little is actually going on so far. I really thought both players would have been a lot more aggressive, especially Recon. He could just send ordinary military units up here to take down this little operation. A lot of boats here from Kvoth on the right side. 5 boats versus... I don't think Recon has got many. 2 hammer boats, nothing more. I do like the 3 siege boats here to try to take down this dock from range. They don't deal that much damage to a dock though, even though they are siege boats. Over here, small skirmish going on. Big advantage on the right side for Kvoth so far, and he's really making something happen. That's nice to see. What is Recon doing meanwhile? Not going heroic, that's not what he's doing. Oh, wait, he is! He's going Skadi! Skadi is coming up for Recon. So, the reason he decides to not fight in the Classical Age is because once he gets to the Heroic Age, he's gonna get the Hammer Boat upgrade. And honestly, that's it. The freezing technology on the Hammer Boat is so exceptional. And with docks, 3 docks standing on both sides of water, Recon will be able to win both sides of water with relative ease, I think. The freezing Hammer Boat upgrade is ridiculously OP. It's so strong. And there's gonna be so much pressure on Kvoth here. He's not gonna be able to defend himself against the hammer ships, which Recon are making. Kraken over here, unfortunately not being microed. Recon doing a really good job, actually denying the hill fort for now. It does build itself, but it takes 102 seconds if there's no units building it. So I didn't even notice. This actually, I didn't expect Recon to be able to do this. He's going Skadi, and he's the one who's stopping the hill fort from going up. 90 seconds until completion. And here is that technology. Arctic winds. 200 wood, 10 favor. And once you have like 5 hammer boats on either side of the water, you just win that side. It's not even funny how strong this is. Kvoth is going Aegir. Aegir does give that funny little technology here called Grasp of Ran. It will never be useful against Skadi because hammer boats counter siege boats. But otherwise, when the siege boat starts spawning Kraken on water, that's really funny. And it's so much value. But all in all, the technology is just not nearly as good as the hammer boat upgrade is. Recon, of course, playing Thor, and he's slowly starting to get his armory upgrades. Got 2, and a third one coming in as well. This is potentially a mistake. I do this sometimes when I play Thor. I go forward for gold, and it's just putting yourself in a risky situation, which isn't necessary, because you can go on this gold mine, and then you can recast Dwarven Mine. I've lost too many games going for middle golds when I could have just went at home as Thor. Holy, Kvoth is fighting on the right side. Kvoth is really fighting for it. He does not want to get overwhelmed by these hammerboat with the upgrades. I think Recon just says, alright, you want to commit this much? Fine, I'm going to stop producing boats. And then over on the left side of things, Recon going to win this side without even investing much at all. The investment that he does make is on land, which doesn't matter that much because he's gonna be able to use this for other things, right? Whereas this water army is not gonna be useful for anything other than taking down these stocks over here. This is big advantage to Recon. If he can win the left side without investing much of anything, which he kind of has now, but of course the stock can be rebuilt and then it's not one anymore, but funny little Kraken action here. The hearse is doing quick work of the Kraken when they're nearby the shore. And yeah, like, you win water on the left side, but if you don't have a military presence on water, with arrow boats, with siege boats, etc., it's so easy for the other Norse player to quickly build these stocks again. Norse build stocks so fast. It's another good reason why Norse is good on Anatolia, is because you build and rebuild docks incredibly quickly. And now Kvoth is actually... I think that's a mistake from Kvoth. If he commits on this fight over here... No, he doesn't do it. But yeah, you don't want to fight against someone who's got this hammerboat technology. Even Krakens are no good, because they just get frozen, as we see here. And now, heavy infantry, medium cavalry, bronze, armory upgrades coming in for Kvoth as well. Definitely what you gotta do when you're up against Thor as Frey is you gotta utilize those half-price technologies. Because if you don't, you're just gonna fall behind the Thor player who relies on dwarf economy, getting the free dwarves from their armory upgrades. So it's like Thor gets more villagers out for free, almost for free, but with Frey you gotta utilize the cheaper technologies, no doubt about it. Good little catch here from Recon, taking down a rock giant and some units over here as well. And that's the second TC in from Recon also. Similarly sized armies, but Recon with that second town center, as well as more armory upgrades. Well, the free dwarves and the armory upgrades. I think the reason why Recon can afford all this is because there's such a big amount of resources invested in on the right side of water for Kvoth. Heavy infantry in for Kvoth, and that means a big power spike for him. But there's also a big army in for Recon, and Frost available also. Gonna use that to establish a hill fort on this location. And it's really nice because that means that Kvoth does not have access to a middle town center. He does have access to this one over here, but it doesn't do much. Like, what Recon really wants is control of this area to deny Frey the middle TC, because that also denies the aggressive Gulin Bursty play. And Recon is looking mighty fine by now. Got a pickaxe, got a bow saw. Does he have the... Wait. Oh yeah, he does have Gold Amphora. Now Tempest is in from Kvoth. It's a bit of a blunder here from Kvoth. So easy for Recon to just garrison into the hill fort and out again. Tempest is not going to do much of anything at all. Easy to dodge the Tempest when you have a hill fort nearby. I like this play though from Kvoth. He's just going all in. He wants this town center. Does not care there's 2 hill forts nearby. He's gonna lose a lot of units in getting this TC up, but there's gonna be a Gulling Burst, and we'll see how strong that actually is. Nice initial damage on top of the throwing X-Men, but the Gulling Burst, 625 HP, it's not even that tanky. Once it's focused down, as we see here, it just goes down. Thank you so much, Ironhide, for the subscription. And Recon takes another game. Well played to Recon. I think when all is said and done, the reason Recon was able to just be further out on the field in the middle of the Anatolia map here is because he didn't invest all the resources that Kvoth did over here. Yeah, well played to Recon. Was a good game. Nice try from Kvoth. Obviously not much of a Norse player, but he made a good effort of it anyways. So next up is Isis versus Fushi, and don't mind the Okuchichibu, it's actually Alfheim. Okuchichibu is just a placeholder for Alfheim. And it's gonna be 90 seconds before the game starts, so I'll take the opportunity to visit the bathroom. Okay, we are ready to get into the game. So, welcome to Alfheim. I know it said Okuchichibu in the preview, but it is Alfheim. And spawning in the top right of the map, playing as Fushi, is Mr. Kvoth. Very, very strong China player. And this is an interesting matchup. A matchup that we've seen a lot in recent months is Fushi versus Isis. Seems to be just two really highly prioritized gods. And yeah, spawning in the bottom side. Playing as Isis, of course, it's Recon. And he's doing this nice little build order. I don't know if it's new, but basically what it does is... Wait, is he doing that? No, he's not. I thought he would be. Because I saw him doing that in the tournament, the sort of the try-hard strategy where you deposit all the resources with your villagers at once, and then you empower the monument, and then the moment all your villagers deposit their food again, you just empower the granary just for a second, and then you're back to the monument. I think it's an incredibly strong one, but it's also a bit sweaty, so it's easy to screw it up, and I guess Recon just goes for the simple one here after all. This is better. Recon on the left side. Perfect. So yeah, we'll see what Recon does. One monument so far, getting pickaxe. Very standard for Recon. Kvoth, on the other hand, interesting to see these days. Are you going for 2 Koafu or 3 or heck even 4? Especially as Fushi, you get that extra peach blossom tree. Gonna generate extra favor with the extra favored land that you get here. So adding 3 Koafu to your economy, very easy. And like I said, you can even do 4. If you're feeling a bit crazy, you can do 4 Koafu in your KA gauge. But it seems to be just 3 into a nice and early Suano. Suano is an interesting goddess because he doesn't do very much early classical age. Vanish, it doesn't do anything for you combat-wise. Chillin', it's a good little scout / raider, but nothing like super significant. And then these technologies, these two, they're good for mid to late game, but not early on. It's like you pick Suano for, not for the early classical age power spike, but for just better scaling to the mid and late game. Good relic pickups here from Kvoth. 20% cheaper siege. This one might very well come into play early on in the game. It's not uncommon that you see sort of a standoff between a Chinese and an Egyptian player. And in those, you're going to need the siege crossbows. This one, myth units, less vulnerability to pierce damage, doesn't matter. But it'll generate some favor. Suano is almost in. Meanwhile, Anubis also almost in, so Kvoth is looking to maybe deal some damage during prosperity also, so yeah, any small bits of damage he can deal to the economy here is nice, but he doesn't do anything. It's all just healed up by the 2 priests in the near vicinity. Probably better to actually target down a priest, because that way there's only 1 priest that can heal at a time. So screw... Oh wait, there's 4 priests here. Such a nice defense from Recon. It's such a bad feeling for Kvoth. He sends 4-5 pioneers forward, but they're just not able to pierce through any of the healing. 5 pioneers versus 5 priests. I think the priests are just winning due to having healing. Neja coming in as well. So that's gonna mean Kvoth is gonna have an advantage. As soon as this little boy is in, definitely an advantage for the China player, but the houses are in the way, so it being a melee Neja here means that probably not even going to be much of a difference at all. Ikadi's torches, is that one available actually? Yeah, it is. So I think maybe for now, Kvoth, you just secure the relics, get that 3rd one in as well. Archimedes Ledger, I think this is just not a good relic, unfortunately. Most of these relics aren't that great. Except for this one, Dwarven Calibers, I think it's underrated. 20% cheaper siege weapons is quite significant. And Recon, with a bit of a blunder here, going out with your priests, allowing the Neja to get value in. This is dangerous. I was just saying, the reason why Neja wasn't very good before was because of the houses that were in the way. Out in the open, though, the Neja gets a lot of value in, and 2 priests has gone down now. Gonna be a third also, so 3 priests for 1 Neja. I think Kvoth is gonna take that any day of the week. Meanwhile, Kvoth building a second town center over here. A very poor one, but a very defensive one. And Recon also building a very similar town center, so really, it's interesting. These are 2 different civilizations, needless to say, but what they're doing is so similar. The Pioneer spam into the Priest spam into the second TC, and then from here on out, we'll see where it goes, but this is as close as it gets to a mirror matchup with 2 completely different civilizations. Kind of interesting. Oh, the Anubite died. I guess Anubite is not very important to Recon here. Obviously, it's nice if you can... Oh, he's taking control of the spring, Peace Blossom Spring here. It is nice if you can get some good raids off while you're fighting elsewhere. But other than that, it can be very difficult to get good use of that lone single Anubite. Kvoth needs to take control of this tree, because he's losing out on favor. Like, you see, his favored land is right here. He needs control of this before he gets the extra favored land up here. Then the peasant forward for this little wall here, trying to guard this settlement. So already now is sort of drawing the battle lines. Kvoth gonna take the right side. Recon, you can have the left side. And then the walls here to just ensure that each player will stay in their place. Recon not getting any walls. He's got a lot more priests out though than Kvoth has pioneers. Yeah, and as soon as these priests are here, not only will they be able to heal these villagers back up, but they'll also effectively push these pioneers back, because you don't want to take a fight or a small skirmish against these priests, because any damage you deal would just be healed back up. Ooh, this is well done from Recon. He saw this wall being built with the obelisk, and then he sent the lone spearman over here because he smelled that Kvoth was going to go a bit aggressive, try to get this wall up as well. You can argue that it's a bit greedy from Kvoth, knowing you're against Isis, sending a lone villager like this, because they're so likely to have obelisks all over the place, right? So sending these peasants forward, very, very risky. Third TC in from Recon now. Interesting. Very rare that we see this kind of play. Usually, in Retold, we see 2 town centers, and then if you want to play extra greedy, more greedy than that, you'll go Heroic Age. But Recon is... I think he's going 3 TC fast Heroic. I think that's what he's going for. Kvoth is staying on 2. And he's not Heroic anytime soon. I don't know if it's a miss macro. It's not. It's just he doesn't have the resources. Kvoth macro is perfect. He's so good with Chinese. He's got 20... Look at this. 22 on food, 5 on wood, 3 on gold. Anyone looking to learn China, look towards Kvoth and see how he manages his economy. It's superb. But obviously, needless to say, Recon with Isis is also a menace. He's favored this goddess for, I think, as long as Retold has been out. He's just been prioritizing Isis tournament after tournament and always doing really well with her. And it's such an interesting third town center here. And it's crazy just what you can do with Isis. Not only do you get 3 TCs, you also go Heroic Age earlier than what Kvoth does. Blood of the Nile helps a lot. You get prosperity. The ISIS economy is just really, really good. TCs are quite cheap. What do they cost? 550 gold. Yeah, compared to 700 for most other civs. Just managed to get both of those gold miners back. Ah, how did... Oh yeah. I was gonna say, how did Kvoth get through here? But I didn't realize that's Kvoth's wall, of course. Just chillin'. Good reaction from Kvoth. Was gonna be a very quick kill on that chillin' if Kvoth wasn't ready for it. Instant Mictal over on the right side here, just to protect this gold mine. With the help of these walls, should be a very good defense. And then over here, no need for the Mictal for now. One monument only for Recon. Insofar as Recon has mismacroed here, I would say maybe that second monument, shouldn't you have that up by now? Favor is so good for Egyptian. But at the same time, maybe he's waiting just so he can get the monument down the perfect spot. Although I don't think this is the perfect spot. Deft mine coming in for Kvoth. What else is he doing? Not getting that third TC still. And he knows about the TC. At least this one. Getting a lot of White Horse Cavalry. But this is Elfheim. Keep that in mind. We're playing on Elfheim. It's very, very easy for Recon to just wall off these choke points. And then, what are you going to do with your mobile White Horse Cavalry army? Not much, are you? 66 favor accumulated for Kvoth. You know, he could get the Tau Wu upgrades, but of course, given that Recon has got like 15 priests, I can definitely see why he doesn't do it. Probably a waste to do that. Ah, poor rock. Mictal coming in here, plus the 2 siege towers. 3 siege towers. It's actually a full heroic in from Recon. Forest protection on the Baule over here. It's going to be nice for defending this location. Ooh, and sniping down a crocodile is huge here. Those crocodiles can be so hard to deal with. Locust Swarm used. Ooh, it's kind of good. Could have been a bit better. Ah, it's not that great. With the forest protection, healing these units back up to full, it's not going to be too impactful. Only 1 siege tower remaining now. Definitely these siege towers that's going to be the big threat from Recon here. But Kvoth is doing such a good job of taking them down. The White Horse Cavalry, the Tau Wu probably doing a shit ton of damage to it. Bit of a scramble here. 3 siege crossbows in from Kvoth, and keep in mind, they only cost 120 instead of 150 because of that relic. So it's a super good relic from Kvoth here now. It is starting to kick in. Recon, 85 bills versus 71 for Kvoth. Recon with the bigger army also, but he's finding it difficult to really siege down the Chinese buildings. The siege towers are not, you know, not having the ranged siege here. It's just not. It just means you can't really get through here. And something Recon hasn't done, which is a bit weird, is he hasn't gotten his Pitsuchas out with the upgrade, and that means that these siege crossbows are allowed to just siege from range here. They have 26 range, which is the same that an upgraded Pitsuchas does have. And Pitsuchas deals divine damage, so they take down these siege crossbows very easily. But yeah, Recon just hasn't invested into them. Instead now, moving over on the right side, taking down the walls over here. I still don't think Kvoth... Nope. Kvoth still doesn't have that town center, so... of the settlement. Big fight occurring over here. The White Horse Cavalry actually making a lot of sense in a fight like this. Means that it's very hard for Recon to shoot and scoot. Building up a Mictal stronghold here with the Pharaoh and 9 villagers. Gonna go up relatively quick, but the Pharaoh goes down. I do think Recon has the numbers to defend the vills at least. Although maybe with some good micro, Kvoth can take down the vills. 5 remaining and 5 seconds on the Mictal. Is it gonna go up? 2 villagers remaining. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's not going up. Huge block of the Mictal here from Kvoth. 92 vills versus 84. Kvoth takes it. What? What happened here? The heroic age push coming in from Recon just didn't work out. The siege towers, the priests, well, the siege towers, I think that's the big story here. The siege towers just didn't work out. And then the siege crossbows over here, while we were watching the fight here, the siege crossbows was taking down the monument and eventually the town center over here. Really well played from Kvoth. Like I said, this guy knows China in and out. The China main. China is his main. Alright, the 2 players have decided for their gods in the next map, and this is so interesting from Recon, the rare Zeus on a land map on Bamboo Grove. This is not a mistake, this is Bamboo Grove, Zeus on this map. I guess he doesn't feel confident picking Odin, and he wants to save his other priority picks for other maps. That must be it. And yeah, it is Kvoth on his signature Gaia pick as well. I think that's gotta be it. It's like, you think Kvoth, it's gotta be Oranos Gaia that are his signature gods. Will I upload new Chinese? Whoa. Will I upload new Chinese builds? Will the Kvoth changes? Are the old ones still viable? Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that tomorrow, Miguel. Promise. You need a new build order for them. Two and a half minutes and we'll get into Bamboo Grove, Zeus vs Gaia. I'm interested in seeing what Recon does here. He must have some thought of what he's gonna do. Like you don't just pick Zeus randomly on Bamboo Grove without having an idea, I think. Boss photo looks like it would be on an R&B album. Yeah, I'd buy it. I'd buy it for sure. Right. 40 seconds and we'll be jumping in. What is this Might and Magic 9 music? Damn, you heard that? Did you Shazam it or did you know it? You know it? Nice. Good man. Good lad. Okay, we are in Bamboo Grove. Spawning on the right side of the map, it's Kvoth playing as Gaia. And spawning in the left side of the map, it's Recon playing as Zeus. Both players having forward gold, right? Yep. Both players with forward gold. I don't know how much it matters in this matchup. Gaia versus Zeus. Like I said, the big question mark is what do you do with Zeus on land these days? Because I think there's a bit of a consensus among the community that Zeus is a water god, and if you play him on land, it's really hard to make work. Bamboo Grove, though, it's a very defensive map. So I mentioned there is forward gold, and that is true. But there's also back gold, as we see here. Back gold, back hunt, and it's so easy to wall off these sides here. Grab this TC, wall off, and then what are you gonna do? Doesn't matter there's a forward gold here because there's so many resources in the back. And likewise on the other side of the map. Gold, hunt, wood. So I guess we're gonna see a 2 TC boom coming in from Recon. That is just what makes the most sense to me. What is he gonna do? Like there's a settlement here. Something that you can do with Zeus obviously is you can do the double heroes and then 1 or 2 myth units, and that's gonna be very strong at potentially taking down a TC with Bolt in your arsenal as well. But it's just a bit risky also. If it doesn't work out, you invest a lot of resources into that early pressure. Looking like an early build from Recon though. The way he drops off the gold when he's got the resources for the temple and then builds it with 2 villagers. 8 villagers on food, 0 on other resources, fast building this temple with 2 vills. Do think it's going to be some kind of a rush. We'll see. Did look like Kvoth knew exactly what's happening. He has got his oracle here. He saw what Recon did, so if Kvoth can do it, he's going to try to advance fast. It's really hard with Atlantean to sort of change your build order midway, but you can do stuff like this. Use Gaia Forest on the sentry tower over here. Gonna do a good job of protecting these villages with the temple, manor, and the forest. Gonna be near impenetrable actually. Really good use of Gaia Forests. And yeah, Athena is in for Recon. A super early Athena. I've rarely ever seen such an early Athena. This Gaia Forest is so insanely good from Kvoth though. Four on gold. So this is for the instant Heracles. And potentially, he could put 1 villager on temple for the additional Minotaur, but it doesn't look like he's going for it. 4 on food, 3 on wood. So I guess, my guess is it's just 2 heroes Minotaur. Try to get some damage dealt. Go into a second TC. And I don't know what you do then. But that is my guess from what I can see so far. Minotaur's in. Jason is in. Heracles slowly coming out. And Recon hasn't gone for the Olympian parentage upgrade. It costs 10 favor, doesn't it? Yeah. He's only got 8. So he's not going to go for it either. Even though he could, but he's not gonna. Gonna be interesting to see now, Recon, what do you do now? He's sending villagers onto wood. He's got his 5 onto gold still, so I guess this is gonna be a town center, isn't it? Kvoth, once again with the heroized oracle for defense. He loves doing this. Saw that in the other Atlantean game he played. Weird little... What it actually is Recon doing here? Like, he's just gathering relics, or collecting relics with the Jason, and then these two are sort of moving in the back of Kvoth's space. Maybe the mere presence of them here is enough for Kvoth to think that he needs to get some military out, and he's not going to go for the 2 TC boom. Maybe that's all that Recon really wants to achieve here. But archery range now? He's got the resources for a second TC if he wants to go for it. Like, surely he wants to. This, when the economy looks like this, surely you go for a TC. It's so weird from Recon. Loading a lot of resources all of a sudden. Maybe he's just deciding against going for the 2 TC. I guess. I think Recon was planning for a 2 TC boom, but then seeing how the early game went here, he's all of a sudden deciding against it. Instead deciding to go for archery range and military academy. Pegasus says, Recon just wants to react. So if Kvoth had went for a 2 TC boom, he would have done the same, but now, instead, he's building military units. Hoplites Toxotes loses versus Atlantean army, though. The Atlantean Mamillos are better than the Hoplites, at least for the vast majority of the early game. And then Termas hard counters the Toxotes. I think going for Hoplites Toxotes is so risky. Yeah, really weird. What was that? Handax is in for Recon. He's on chicken. Probably gonna go over here afterwards, but it's gonna be rough. He needs to probably set up walls. Both players just want to react, says Pegasus Rush. Well, insofar as that's true, I think Kvoth has done a better job of it. It's been Kvoth who's been the more reactive player here, and I think that's favored him a lot. You know, just Gaia has a better economy than Zeus. Kvoth has got all the eco upgrades in the K gauge already. He advanced slower than Zeus, which means more resources accumulated. And the early advance that Recon did with the early heroes didn't really amount to anything at all. So I'd say Kvoth should be a lot more comfortable. Insofar as it's true that both are just reacting. Oh, there's the second TC. What? These two are just playing a different game than I am, I think. Here's the second TC. The risk, though, of doing this is if Kvoth stays 1 TC now... Ooh, actually, all big, quick reaction here from Kvoth. I mean, this is where it makes sense. You've got an army, you can actually defend yourself from this. But then the issue is it's such a late TC. If Kvoth just stays on 1 TC, spams Mermillos... Stupid hypothetical I'm in the middle of, because Kvoth is on 2 TCs also. Yeah, these are two super reactive players right now facing off against each other. Both on 2 TCs around the 8-minute mark. About similar villagers, 22-32. This is only because Atlantean villagers train slightly faster than others in terms of population. Kvoth now getting Shaft Mine, putting on the pressure and getting economic upgrades as Gaia. A really comfortable position to be in. Shaft Mine is in, still yet to get Bowsaw, but even just Shaft Mine in a boomy, economically macro-focused game like this, it's nice. Big advantage for Gaia having access to those upgrades in the classical age. And Kvoth is doing a good job of spreading the lush also. See, the entirety of this area is spread in lush. It's just going to continue. He does have channels upgrade also. So these units will be traveling much faster. They'll be regenerating. And same goes for the citizens. So very nice for Kvoth. See if he can spread the lush even more like he's doing here. He's just sort of going step by step, inching his way towards the base of Recon. Now we see medium infantry as well as Bite of the Shark coming in for Kvoth. This is where Gaia hits a bit of a power spike, I'd say. And where it's really difficult for Recon to keep up with his hoplites. Recon's going Apollo. Pegasus says he's surprised there's no Dionysus. So yeah, like, Dionysus would make sense because it's so easy. You don't have to travel much to get over here. And it's hard to really retreat from the bronze without taking damage. But at the same time, an underworld passage, really utilizing the mobility from one side to the other, could be an option. I think Kvoth now realizing probably Heroic Age coming in, so he wants to pressure the temple here. See if he can get some damage done while he's staying classical. And Recon has invested 1300 resources in that Heroic Age. Nice knife here with the Thermos. Just one Toxote, but it'll be something. Taking down the temple as well, even denying the relic. Not the most important relic in the game, but still. Good damage dealt for sure. Also taking down a house over here. Denying this gold mine to be mined. Apollo is just about to kick in. The temple has to be rebuilt. Because Recon wants the Manticore here for sure. It's really nicely done from Kvoth. Big army and just spreading the lush. These economic guilds only cost 41 resources. You can just spam these wherever you like. Only 400 HP, that's the only downside to these guilds. This team, Recon perspective here. 11 hoplites, 14 Toxotes, now getting that temple in. And what is he up to? Restoration, Bolt, Underworld is available, but he's just being put under so much pressure from the Bite of the Shark Mamillos. Probably some Peltests would be nice. Yep, Peltest to deal with the Thermos. They're both counter archers, but the Peltest is simply a way superior unit to the Therma. So getting the Peltest out when you see an army like this is really, really good. And then making high pacifists also. Good mixture of hoplites and high pacifists. I think that's nice. Meanwhile, Thea is in for Kvoth, so if he decides so, he can go for a cavalry transition. Although, yeah, that seems like what he's doing. Mixing in Dryads and Contarius now to what he's already got. Military value actually in favor for Recon. He shouldn't be so scared like he is right now. Probably should be moving forward. Deny the palace here. Hello? Oh my god. Kvoth is playing this really well. This palace is going to be very annoying to have to deal with. And imagine Bronze was available right now. I think Recon would have loved having that god power instead of Underworld right now. Ooh, really good catch on the Manticore. And the Destroyers are coming out of the palace as well. New Carnivora. Is that the third or something? I think so. Just taking the fight here. This is what's nice for Kvoth. He can now retreat back into his palace. And that gives Recon a lot less mobility to move around his base. Fortress, that's huge from Recon. So the fortress is going to be amazing. Ooh, restoration used. Also, Odysseus is out. Need to snipe these dryads down. Also needs to keep these villagers alive. Maybe ensure that the fortress goes up. This game is on a knife's edge right now. This fortress is so good for Recon because if he can establish some Petropolis over here, he can start taking down the palace and whatever else Kvoth has made. And that's really nice for Recon. He's holding this position. I don't know, did Odysseus die? He really needs to get all 3 heroes out at all times. And then he needs to rely on hoplites as a meat shield while making his heroes and Peltest and Toxotes do the grunt of the damage. Grunt of the damage, is that the right word? Oh yeah, 5 goats. Need to get these over on the other side. Not bronze is a huge mistake. Dude, Recon would wish so hard to have bronze here. What are you gonna do with Underworld Passage? You can move it here, but it's just not gonna do much. In a skirmish like this, with constant back and forth, you cannot afford to go out with the Underworld Passage. And this is where Arcus shines, by the way. I think I said earlier in this series that Arcus aren't that good, but 18 Arcus here. And they're doing a tremendous job. Peltest 19 range, Arcus 20. But the Peltests are so needed for Recon. This is a pure archer army from Kvoth. Except for 1 horse here, I guess. A lot of Peltests in. 11 Peltests in against a pure archer army. I think the situation here is that Kvoth's economy is much, much better than Recon's. Look at this, 82 to 57. I don't know how this is the state of things. How Recon lost so many bills. But Recon just has better units. The Peltest is an amazing unit that can take down archers. Ooh. It's hard to take down the Contarius. Now, both Petropolis are dead before they can take down the palace. The really good defense from Kvoth. The Lush doing wonders for Kvoth also. All this time, the regeneration, the speed, it's so good. The Apollo upgrade for archers is not in. That's plus 15% damage for archers, but Recon hasn't found the spare resources for it. This Petropolis is actually really good. I guess the Petropolis should have been on the left side all this time. Much, much easier to defend this one than the ones on the right side. 3 Manticores in for Recon. 5 villagers praying. Yeah, the Manticore is going to be very difficult to deal with. And look at this Petropolis. Very nice and cozy right there. Destroyers are amazing for Kvoth. As it did Carnivora. Oh yeah, hero destroyers, perfect. They can't deal. They just can't die at all here. Kvoth takes it. Wow, what just a showcase of what Gaia can do. You know, just you saw how from the classical age and onwards, it's just Kvoth inching his way forward to this palace. And then he makes, like, what was it, like, at one point it was 100% archers, and then eventually he says, alright, I'm done trading, I'm done with these small skirmishes, I'm going all in with my destroyers and my Contarius, and then eventually he just wins. Better trades, better economy to back everything up. Beautiful done. Well done from Kvoth, and it's, we're looking at a 3-3 score right now. It's going to be a 7th and final game. It's going to be exciting. All right, we got the question, can we see the eco graphs? I'm going to show you that really quickly.
Your name is beauty.
Urosh, welcome, welcome. This is the eco graph. You see it from the very beginning. It's a small advantage to Kvoth, and then ever so slightly it just pulls more and more forward. More and more ahead, sorry. Welcome, Urosh. As always, helping me out with the fantastic overlay here. The last map is Elysium, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. One that I haven't seen much of at all. It's going to be Amaterasu versus Ra on Elysium. Can I do that, Ragnaroks? No. Can I? I should have done that all the time after each game. I can't remember now. Quite had it. Yeah, you have to do it after every game. You have to do it manually. Too late now. Just want to know the 5th game. That was... Fushi Isis. Yes, on Alfheim. Alright, this is exciting. 7th game. This best of 7 really providing lots of long games here, and some really good ones too. Some nice actions from both of these players. And Amaterasu, Ra on Elysium, I cannot recall having ever seen this matchup. Both not the most popular gods currently. But yeah, this should be super interesting. Where's the soundtrack from? This is from an old game called Might and Magic 9. Someone in chat recognized it earlier. I thought it was pretty cool. Bit of a niche game. Yes, user. User 56628. Forgive me for forgetting your name. Alright, we are ready to head over to Elysium. Any second now. Okay, spawning on the left side of the map, it is Mr. Kvoth playing as Ra. There was a time when Kvoth would really play Ra all the time, when he was super, super strong. But he hasn't played much Ra recently, and that's why this should be really interesting. Ra is not a bad god, but he's just super hard to play. And even in the semifinals and the finals of the Champions League series, we did see Ra picked, but it was just on the mid to low end of priorities. So he's a good god, but he's just not a highly prioritized one. And I think Amaterasu goes pretty much in the same category as Ra. Not a super high priority, but by no means a bad god. Has plenty of potential to make a lot of stuff happen, and I don't think they have super poor matchups either. The one I can think of is probably Cronos versus Ra. That one is so hard as Ra to make work. And Amaterasu versus Sukuyomi is really bad also. Probably there's probably some matchups that are very bad, but this one should be so interesting. Amaterasu versus Ra. So Recon, see what he's gonna do. We've seen some Amaterasu players going for the super early advance, where you don't even get Kagura, which does actually look like Recon isn't getting. So that could be portending that it's going to be a very fast advance with a fast second beaver, and then potentially just Kagura during transition, and then you can go whatever you do from there. You can just spam Samurai's and Naginata Riders. You can do a second TC even. But it's going to be interesting to see. 8 on food. No Kagura. Almost certain we're going to see an instant temple now into a super fast advance. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. And actually using the villager for building the temple also. So he wants that extra favor that the Miko is getting here, because if he doesn't get that, he doesn't have enough favor for the beaver as soon as he hits classical age. He needs, is it 12 it costs for a beaver? Yeah, 150 food and 12 favor. Gonna be a big rush. Kvoth, is he ready for it? That's the question. Dude, the monument from Kvoth. I told you this guy has played a lot of Ra. You see that right here. He places the monument in a way where the monument covers the gold mine, the granary, and he can use it to quickly build these houses and this wall. With the empowerment on the temple and the houses and the wall, he's surely going to be able to build some houses over here as well. This guy is so good at playing Ra, and he's taking his sweet time in the K gates to establish all the houses. It's obviously going to slow him down. It's going to mean a slightly slower classical age advance, but it's also going to mean that he's a lot safer. And against the incoming beavers that Recon is going to throw at him, these houses and the walls is going to be so strong. Amino Uzume. This is going to be like a 340 advance. Pretty sure you can do it earlier than that. I think when I played Mista, it was like a 320 or so that he did to me. But 343, we'll see where this goes. I think it's going to be so hard to get value out of these. Kvoth has done a tremendous job setting up his base protection here. Yeah, 320, right, Tunison? That's what I thought. But Recon must have done something slightly wrong here. Okay, Kamaitachi. I'm your Kamaitachi. And you can say I love you. This is about the only thing he can do. He can stop this wall from being built. Maybe. Okay, some damage dealt by this Kamaitachi. That's good for Recon. He definitely needs the value in. Getting a second one in also. Sphinx actually is best coming from Kvoth. It's a funny play. I think a lot of people would expect Wedgets, Tar instead. Solar Shield used just to keep the Kamaitachi alive here. Be a bit of a nuisance, get some damage dealt onto the Sphinx and the Priest. Now reinforcement coming in. A new Beaver, a Naginata Rider. Back to Kvoth, see what he's doing. 7 on gold. These guys are going to move over onto berries, so that's 5 on food, just 1 on wood. For it's always good to have just 1 on wood. Maybe for a Sphinx upgrade? It's just 1 monument, so probably very unlikely. 1 Kamaitachi goes down over here. But the Goshin Boku tree is in, so it's going to be respawning. As will this one if it goes down. Another Solar Shield. I mean, these Solar Shields, they're a bit of a nuisance. It means that these heroes are going to be idle. That's not going to be it's not going to be empowering anything during this process, but all in all, he's not... I don't think Recon is dealing the type of damage that he was hoping for, considering he spent both his Archaic and Classical Age God Power on dealing this damage here. I don't think it's enough. The Pharaoh is back to empowering. Such a beautiful base that he's made here. See what the Pharaoh is seeing. Okay. I want out now. lot of Poseidon for Recon. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing for Recon. At least Recon is hunting, right? So that's the one good thing when you've got map control. When your opponent is playing like this defensive, at least you get to hunt. So yeah, when you're playing as Amaterasu, you need samurais in your army, and not necessarily dealing damage, just sitting there idly is enough. Oh, Sphinx raiding works really well versus Mikos apparently. Hey Alapez, good to see you. Cavalry is human, right? Yes, cavalry is human. Or I could specify. On this guy, there's like two parts. The bottom part is a horse, and then the rider is a human. Okay, Kvoth, what are you doing now? This is so funny what Kvoth is doing here. It's 8:30 into the game and he's just chilling. What you can do when you've defended your base this well, you can take your sweet precious time, and you don't have to force any timings. Like he's just getting 9 spearmen, 2 sphinxes out, and he's really taking his time. Sacred cats. This is actually a mistake from Kvoth. This thing should have been in ASAP, but he's forgotten about it. So I was gonna think Kvoth has played this really flawlessly. Sacred cats, that's a mistake. I still think Kvoth has played it really well though. The defensive Ra play with the perfect monument placement is really, really well done. What does Sacred Kittens do? So Sacred Kittens makes... Actually, let's get the percentages right. Farms plus 5% and every other food source plus 10%. So it's actually one that you want to get ASAP while you've got berries, while you've got hunt and chicken, herdables. You don't want to get it later because it's not quite as effective on farms. Bit funny because it's on the farm god on Ra, but yeah. Naginata riders coming in here on the right side. Samurais, Miko, Bushi on the left side. Actually, these Bushi could reach the gold mine from the right side if they went there. Maybe a bit of a missed opportunity for Recon, although could be that it's only just now that he's got the prerequisite army. We do see Sobek almost in for Recon for Kvoth. 600 gold remaining in the gold mine, 400 accumulated. So there'll be plenty for a new Mikkel over on the left side probably. Really sick job with the walls already established. Over here, 11 spearmen, 2 sphinxes with a nice raid. Bushi, wait. Eclipse is used, let's see how this goes. This Eclipse was almost as good as the one I did on stream yesterday. I did a really good Eclipse versus Pegasus Rush. It seems like Recon has broken in to the base over here. Meanwhile, over here, the Eclipse... Actually, this Eclipse was nice from Kvoth because it works on the Spisuchas at home and it works on the Sacred Kittens inside of Recon's base. He's still making something happen using Locust Swarm. This is while Eclipse is cast, so it deals extra damage. But it also travels a bit faster, so it's like something good, something bad. Migdil is up on this location. But the military value is so heavily in favor for Recon. Kvoth has only got... How much has he got? 2 spearmen and 2 chariot archers. And the Recon has got so much. What does Recon have? 8 Bushi, 11 Naginata riders, 8 samurais, and an Onimusha, and even 3 beavers for good measure. It's a tremendously big army that Recon's got. The skirmish is here. This is what Amaterasu does. He just spams units in the classical age, and he's making it work. And then where it really begins to kick in, where it really becomes super powerful, it's once you get Bushido tier 3. So you just spam units in classical age. They're Naginata riders, they're samurais, Bushi, and then with Bushido tier 3 in, they are gonna be so strong. And you haven't even spent the 1300 resources on Heroic Age for it. That's where it becomes super strong. But even now, it's looking like it's very strong, and this is so smart from Kvoth. Holy. 10 chariot archers just moving back and forth through these gates. And more gates are on the left side. Recon is sacrificing a lot for this aggression here, and I don't think he's dealing that much damage in the process. The military resource value beginning to equalize a bit. And I don't think this was the right call from the Recon. I think a bit too trigger happy here, not realizing just how well the defense was set up from Kvoth. Ooh, big mistake. Big mistake, but I think that's good for the game at the very least. Make the game a bit more open, because it did look kind of bleak for Kvoth before that. But that was such a good defense. Villager numbers 34 to 36. So slight advantage for Recon, but keep in mind, of course, that Kvoth is in the Heroic Age, so that's an additional 4 or 5 villagers that it takes to get to the Heroic Age. Pegasus says suiciding is part of Amaterasu style. Yes, but you still gotta deal damage. You cannot just suicide and say that this is gonna work. You need to deal damage. And Recon took down Gate and another Gate and not much else. Neymar says the TC was a good call after that advantage, or Heroic. Yeah, in hindsight, would have been a lot better. And this is so good for Kvoth. Using the chariot archers now for hit and run, that's exactly what he needs to do on a big open map like this. And see the damage he can deal to the samurais. Recon gotta find out how to stop this hit and run strategy from working out. I think the beavers would be a good solution. Would also be a good idea with Naginata riders. Like this is working well. Gotta get the samurais away from there. Almost at Bushido tier 3. Getting armory upgrades, getting more Bushido. Spearmen. Spearmen's such a good addition. Completely forgot about that unit. It's just pure chariot archers and crocodiles from Kvoth, but I do think Spearmen is a good addition, just because they're good against camels, which is very likely to come into play as well. But this is scary. If I'm Recon and I see 3 crocodiles and the chariot archers here, I'm gonna get scared. So strong from Kvoth. Even a tower or 2 right here would do a lot. Pegasus says Amaterasu so far ahead in eco. It's not that much. It's 3 villagers. I know that she's getting Bushido, so that's gonna do a lot. But for now, without Bushido tier 3 in, Kvoth is making this work really well. Take all resources after. Alright, we'll see. Ooh, nice play here from Recon. Kind of baiting out this little action here. It's probably gonna be able to. Nah, I like this attempt from Recon, but nothing more than that. Just an attempt. I'm the kind of player I have to see this from Kvoth's perspective. I cannot bear seeing this from Recon's perspective. Because this hidden run strategy, it's so oppressive. And it's gonna give me PTSD if I see this from Recon's POV. I don't want to do that. Just make a wall. That's another good thing. Actually, when Recon made that play, ooh, another Riders of Rohan moment here, but it's on top of the crocodiles. That doesn't really work. With the Bushi though, it does. See how many units you can actually get killed here maybe. Good block. Can he block the crocodiles in? He can! This is huge. 6 Fushi targeting down every single crocodile in Kvoth's army. And now there's literally no crocodiles left, only chariot archers remaining. And Bushido tier 3 is also in. Really well done from Recon. Now he's in a comfortable spot again. Only still has to deal with the hit and run. Doesn't have a perfect counter to it. But with the better economy, with the crocodiles gone, there's definitely a straight path forward here for Recon. And it's so hard for Kvoth. What do you even do now? I think he relied so heavily on the crocodiles there. But yeah, they got the Rohirrim special against them for sure. Just running around for now, Mr. Recon. He can definitely afford to lose some units, but this is also a lot of units lost. You can afford to lose units, but that doesn't mean that you just suicide them like this.
Into you. N wedge.
Kvoth sitting on 29 chariot archers, 2 camels. Could maybe look over here. Is that not a good raid? No. Never mind. Once again, Recon looking to punish the hit and run. Can he do it? 6 speed versus 5 speed. The Naginata riders have a distinct advantage in this scenario, and Kvoth is gonna hurt. 28 chariot archers, how many will remain after this is said and done? Ooh, Thunderburst coming in as well, with a Migdal nearby. 22 chariot archers remaining for now. Thunderburst still gonna kick in. I think 2 more beats remaining. Oh, one only. Only 10 chariot archers lost of that initial 28. But this army has to be healed, and it's going to require more than just a single priest. Let me tell you that. Good job, Kvoth, getting established. Migdal over here. See what Recon, does he know about it? Ooh. Recon is on top of his game here. He's playing this really well. He knows exactly that he needs to send these guys over here. Would have been nice if he had microed them, but yeah, he was doing something else in that second. The important thing is he stops the Migdal from going up. And these Naginata riders, 29 of them. These units are exceptional. 60% pierce armor, actually. 60% with the bronze shields, that's absurd. So much. Camels are amazing against these things. Only 20% hack armor. And then the camels with the 1.5 multiplier, that would be very, very good. Oh yeah, and there's no Sashimono Bannerman either. Kvoth again. 600 gold on this gold mine. Not even getting to empower it. He's busy empowering the Migdal, I think. Oh wait, is there a monument? It's not. So he's empowering the Migdal currently. What's the gold trickle now? It's 2.5, right? Yep.
Into you. And into you. Enito.
Okay, the game has slowed down. You see both players taking up here. Fortified TC, Shaft Mine coming in for Recon, and it's bronze armor. That's going to be very important against the full melee army of Recon. Castle established over here. Does not have crenellations, so it's not too bad for these camels to die of that castle. Yeah, but Tunison says mass chariot's not gonna accomplish anything anymore. That's so true. There's 33 of these chariots, and we're at the time in the game now where hit and run is no longer a thing. And as such, we've got 33 archers here that are very, very vulnerable to Naginata riders. And given the fact that there's probably going to be a big confrontation, big game-ending confrontation,
Into you.
these units are not going to be nearly as good as they were 10 minutes ago. Recon, I think, setting up for it right now. He's got 19 Naginata riders here, and he's got 12 incoming on the other side as well. 6 beavers, a dog, and 6 Bushi. 30 Naginata riders in total. Recon seems to be content, just playing the game slowly here. He doesn't want to force anything anymore. He's done forcing things. You can understand why. He's got control of this gold mine, this one, and this one. And he can potentially look to threaten this one. Like, Recon is well set for the next 20 minutes. He does not have to consider a trade transition at all. And he's about to go through Takemikasuchi. He's getting both Katagi and Hania Mask. Once he goes Mythic Age, he can get an additional 3 infantry upgrades. His samurais are gonna be so brutally strong. And you can add in spearmen as well to that mix. Once you go up to Takemikasuchi with these other 2 infantry techs, the spearmen are, I think, an underrated Mythic Age unit. They're so insanely strong. Yeah, and poor Kvoth. His army just consists of archers and 2 camels. Archers and 2 camels. And when Recon declines to play aggressive, you just can't use the archers anymore. Over here, there's a good opportunity. We might see something. Guess not. Nah, wouldn't even have been something either. Recon's got so many military units.
Gerrig.
Takemikasuchi is in. Gonna be hard to make use of that Divine Slash Mythic Age God power,
Into you.
given how mobile these units are. But I don't think Recon cares. He wants the technologies, the infantry technologies for Shinobi, Spearmen, Samurai. That's what he's interested in. Divine Slash is just cream on top of everything else.
Into you.
Okay. Aggressive play. Divine Slash right here. Would be kinda sick, wouldn't it? Right here, Recon. Oh my god, Bushido. There we go. Holy shit. Did I call it? GG. Bushido tier 4 in as well. This is just Amaterasu at her most oppressive all of a sudden. 85 to 37 villagers. All the technologies coming in, the iron shields. I don't think any of the infantry techs are in just yet. Actually, because he's just relying on cavalry still so far.
Into you.
But the option to go for the infantry tech if he so desires, that is there. Although he doesn't have any Mikos. I guess that's why he doesn't do it. Yeah, when Amaterasu has samurais in her army, and there's a big fight, you get Bushido really quickly. Recon takes it 4-3. What a series here. What a show match. Well played to both of these. Really, really well played. Some nice back and forth in many of these games. And yeah, Tunison, you can just... I'll show you... we'll go back to the drafting, actually. Take all res. Alright, Pegasus, we'll do that. Not too late, don't worry. Here's the draft. I'm just gonna cut over to the post game really quickly. All resources collected. Pegasus Rush is completely right. I'm surprised. Kvoth did such a good job negating any early damage, but Recon is just so far ahead. Crazy. Wait, you don't see it. I'm sorry. Now you do. Sorry. You had my commentary. Is that not good enough? A lot of viewers on YouTube. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry I can't read your comments in game. If any of you have a way for me to read YouTube comments in game, I'd love to hear it. But the only ones I can find is it only works on Twitch. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, there we have it. 4-3 for Recon. Exceptional job. 4-hour stream also, by the way. Oh, and there's a deathmatch tournament going on right now. Perfect timing. So over on MetaPlays right now, anyone watching on YouTube, you can... Actually, I'm pretty sure Nakamura is streaming on YouTube also. I can't rate on YouTube. But yeah, he's hosting a deathmatch tournament right now. And I think a lot of people are playing in it. It's a $200 tournament, so it should be really fun. Young Goat says, you should do a game where you draw something and we have to guess by watching the cat. We'll do that next time, okay? We'll do that next time for sure. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really good series. Lucky me.